Welcome to another edition of Against the Grain Sports Podcast. Man, I am host Jody Coleman in the building. We got my man Jarrell Solo on Sports Glenn, all the way from San Antonio, Texas. Man, how you doing, my guy?
I'm doing great, man. Jody, how'd that mac and cheese come out, bro?
Hey, listen, it actually came out pretty sensational. The recipe was a old recipe that I made when I was in high school.
Oh, extra cheesy, huh?
I'm trying to get Mike here. It won't let me. It was extra cheesy. It had a great savory flavor. We
Now,
got
Jody,
Michael, the
was it 5 cheese mac
people
and cheese?
champ.
What
I keep
cheese
adding
you
Mike
have?
and it won't let me add him. What the heck is going on? Go ahead, sir.
Was it 5 cheese mac and cheese? Because you got to have at least minimum 3 different type of cheese to make it really cheesy.
Hey, it was really, really cheesy, and it stuck to the roof of your mouth. It was that cheesy. It was savoring, to say the least. Hey, good morning, Eagles Philly. He said, "Good morning, good brothers. Keep doing your thing. Stay safe, stay blessed. Happy All-Star Weekend. Did y'all watch the best female weekend basketball last night? South Carolina Gamecocks. Don Staley is head coach. She has 18 years, 500 wins. Career wins last night. Won 79-72. Absolutely. I don't know what happened to Mike. We'll get him
Don
back shortly.
Staley's the truth, man.
But nevertheless, how was your weekend, man?
It was cool, man. Just chilling.
How was your weekend? We've been off.
One thing about having this little so-called holiday on the weekend, people everywhere. The people don't cook no more. Just give them another reason to get out the house. The weekend was crazy, but it is what it is at this point, man. What's going on with you, brother?
Man, it's good. Like the snow up here starting to melt. We're starting to get into good space. It's raining, so but how my house is, like the sun comes from the back, pause. And so my front yard is still full of snow, but everybody else's yard don't have snow in it except for mine. I can still go make a snowman in my front yard. So it's crazy work, man. But nevertheless, man, we got a great show, man. We're gonna talk about NBA All-Star Weekend, the dunk contest, 3-point contest, rising stars, and then they had an All-Star game today. Also, man, we're gonna talk about college basketball. Interesting things happen in college basketball. Arizona, number 1 team in the country, lost again. They lost back-to-back games this week, and we can talk about how concerned are we with the Arizona Wildcats. Kansas they get blew out by Iowa State. They were on the road. Why the topsy-turvy season of the Kansas Jayhawks continue, and we'll talk about some other teams that potentially are on the bubble, and then we're gonna talk about some NFL. We're getting in gear for our draft and combine. We'll talk about that on the defensive side of the ball. What guys do you think is, now that they haven't played a game in over a month, what guys are going to go up on the totem pole or go down, pause, no Diddy, on the draft boards, man. But let's get right into what we seen yesterday, man. Oh, and not to mention the great Chris Paul has retired. Solo Sports, man, talk to me. NBA All-Star Weekend, man. Talk to me about dunk contest. Just give me whatever your synopsis so far in All-Star Weekend. What do you think about it?
Well, the dunk contest was terrible. I'm not really surprised. If you don't watch basketball, you probably didn't know who half of these players were. You just knew who the guy with Jackson Hayes was because he's a Laker and everyone's a Lakers fan. So he did a terrible job. So I'm not really shocked at that. The 3-point contest, I loved it because I like to see Dame Lillard do his thing. It's pretty impressive for him to win the 3-point contest. Considering he hadn't played NBA basketball since last year when he tore his Achilles. I was impressed with that, and I like the skills one with the family dynamic of that. That was pretty cool. But the dunk contest was terrible. One other thing I think Jody and Mike, what I think they need to do, man, they need to move that dunk contest, move that shit to a different time. They need to put the rookie sophomore game on. That needs to be a primetime game Saturday instead of all that other stuff. These going to be the superstars in the future of the NBA. I think they would put that game on Saturday night instead of Friday with the celebrity game. What do you think, Mike?
Okay.
Yeah.
Mike, the people sent, man. What did you think about that, Mike?
Man, I agree with Soul 1,000% in his post. I saw it where he was saying that the NBA should move the dunk contest up earlier and have the rookie game to close it out. I think that's a much better representation of the NBA right now. And in fact, I'm actually okay with them just eliminating the dunk contest. If nobody wants to do it anymore, and this is what we're gonna get, I don't need a clown show. We got guys falling in mid-air, damn near breaking their back. You got dudes that's 6'10", 6'11", doing less than creative dunks. I'm like, just don't insult me with that shit. Let's just put it in the basket for a few years and maybe see if, or up the money on the sponsorship, something. But it's tragic to traditional basketball fans to have to watch that now as the dunk contest. And that overshadowed the whole thing to me so far. I think more people talking about how bad the dunk contest was than anything else.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely was terrible, man. I think they should, like you said, Mike, move that shit or just get rid of it.
Yeah, Jody's mac and cheese was better than the dunk contest. And I heard he had cottage cheese. There's a lot of cottage cheese in his mac and cheese because he like them, a certain kind of way. So,
ain't no wrong with little cottage cheese.
Hey,
right?
man, ain't nothing wrong with little cottage cheese, man. I appreciate little cottage cheese right in the back half of the thigh area right there. That's more than acceptable for me.
You damn right it is. Oh man.
That's why you can tell we ain't fooling around with no young girls on this show, cuz.
Hey. Well,
boy, here we go.
First things first, Mike. Where do I pick this shirt up? Because I want to wear it before the next game.
Buddy, we could just message me off here. I think I've got an assortment for you to choose from. We'll get to that.
That's fine.
I do want to get because this sweatshirt is just a little too small for you. I think if you like your relatives up there, you so-called workout and you bench 395 pounds. So I just
it's crazy work.
That's an odd number.
Just to fit you like an extra medium. So.
Hey, it's crazy work when he throws shots because he can't lift over 125 pounds, so he's going to insult me because I can lift 350. But that's whatever. Hey, we got Donald, the voice of the youth, in the building. What did you think about the All-Star weekend so far?
It's dead. It's been.
Whoa.
Yeah,
it's go ahead. Can you hear me now? My bad.
Yeah.
It's been dead for a few years. It's no more dunks to do. It's no more. It's just. I don't know. I just don't like it. I'm just not a fan of it because you gotta think if you walk up to the rim and do a windmill nowadays, it's like, all right, we give it a 4. It's not even exciting. The stuff that you're expected to do and some of the performances people put on over the years, it's nothing less after that. I think it's been dead since about. I think like Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine put on a good show, and then like after that, it's like what else? It's only a limited stuff you can do.
I'm gonna go slightly against the grain on the dunk contest, and the reason why I say that is you keep getting motherfuckers that ain't even getting in the game. Nobody knows. That's why the dunks don't get the grades that they should get. Where if we can start getting the stars back in the dunk contest, I remember back in the day we used to have 8 motherfuckers in the dunk contest, and all 8 of them were household names. Dominique Jordan, Clyde Drexler was in it, so it made those guys that potentially wasn't superstars. It gave them an opportunity to be in the same breath with a Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? So now we got guys that don't want to get in the dunk contest because I seen something where what's his name? Rich Paul said LeBron James getting in the dunk contest would have been a lose-lose situation. He said if he gets in, if he wins, it's gonna be rigged. If he loses, then he can't compete. So it's like LeBron James had nothing to win or lose by getting into the dunk contest, which I understood. But if he would have gotten the dunk contest his rookie year, we wouldn't have had this problem like Kobe Bryant did early on in his career. You can't wait till you're in year 10 and say, okay, I want to get in the dunk contest. And I think we gotta, as much as LeBron James have helped the game and helped young players get money, he has also been a detriment to guys not doing things in super. And I don't want to blame him for super teams. I'm not blaming him. But when he didn't get in the dunk contest, everybody else said, "Why should I?" What do you think?
Well, I'm saying, why would I get in the dunk contest and I don't have good dunks? LeBron's never had really good dunks. He could jump high. He don't have good dunks.
But he was in the dunk contest, and remember he won it when he was at the McDonald All-American game.
Yeah, and that's not against NBA, not against the NBA players. It don't make no sense to just get in it. Now, that's what I don't. He don't have good dunks. He don't have dunks to compete with these guys. So why go do? That's what I don't understand.
LeBron would easily, he's too old now, but 10 years ago, he'd have easily won the dunk contest. First of all, he's LeBron James. He don't have to do nothing too flashy because it's LeBron James. So he definitely would have won the dunk contest if he would have gotten in at 10 plus years. The nigga been in the league 20 some years. If he'd have gotten into it back when he had a hairline, yeah, I think that he would have easily won the dunk contest.
And that's to Rich Paul's point. If he wins it, we know he's not good enough to win it. So if he wins it, it's rigged. But if you lose it, it's everything against you. It's a lose-lose.
But Donald, if he would have did it his rookie year, because we didn't know who LeBron James was. If he was done in his rookie, listen what I'm saying, Donald. Hold on, relax.
Go ahead.
Listen first. They didn't know what LeBron was going to be. We knew he was the king, but we didn't know he was what he is now. Like we didn't know who Michael Jordan was per se until he got into the dunk contest and became a folk hero. I ain't saying we don't, and let me use different terminology. I'm not saying we didn't know who these guys was, but that made him, that was a part of Jordan's aura. Mike, would you agree with that? That kind of was what Jordan, that was a Jordan aura thing that made him a folk legend before he became a champion.
I think anything that LeBron cannot surpass Mike in, he stays away from. And so he wasn't going to surpass Jordan in the dunk contest, though I think he would have won one in the first 3 years he would have been in it because he had young, spry legs. He elevates very well. He could have combined a finesse and power dunks and came away with at least one that would put him up there. But the dunk contest in a whole, it's like when we were kids, it'd be maybe 8 guys in the dunk contest, but 6 of them were also playing an All-Star weekend because they were All-Stars. And where the problem has come into play is that probably post the early mid 2000s, like 2005, from starting to move in that direction, you start having less and less legitimate All-Stars getting in the dunk contest and turning it over to other guys, and those guys maybe they're like Kenny Skywalker was, for like just the dunk contest, and it's just kind of gone down and gone down. I don't think you run out of dunks because dunking is an evolutionary thing. They got all these videos of these guys out there that don't play in the league doing all kinds of creative dunks because they want to. I think as much as LeBron has helped the players with their finances and their independence, there are some key elements to his time in the league that has, at the very least, I won't say it set it back, but it rubs fans the wrong way. From not competing in the All-Star game when Kobe laid down that challenge and you just kind of blew it off, and now the All-Star game started tanking after that, to the point where last year was probably the first time in a while that it got so bad that they had to say, look, let's just change the format. Then he doesn't get in the dunk contest, and then dunk contest goes to the wayside. Then everybody, and I'm not saying he's the originator of this, but he definitely made the remix more popular than the original by going from team to team to team to get with all the, super friends in the Justice League going. And so now we've got that. So his mark on the game is going to be very interesting when it's all said and done, when it's all written.
Okay. Well, so what do you go ahead, Don? You can rebuttal now.
Okay, my thing, it was a couple things because I've been looking at this All-Star weekend and stuff. I always like to go back and watch. Okay, so can y'all I want to see the years. Can y'all show me the years where they actually competed in the All-Star game? Because I was watching some old ones and it just looked kind of similar. Right? Didn't compete. Okay, I need just give me some years because I'll go back and watch it because if I'll stand corrected.
Go look at 03.
Second of all, that was one of the ones that I'm like, okay, play. They didn't. No, they played like in the last like 30 to 45 seconds. But okay, so second of all, he was never going to pass Mike in dunk contest because they was going to make sure Mike won. It was one like in Chicago back in the day. Dominique actually for sure won the dunk contest, but that's a whole nother story. So with certain people judging, you're going to win. And then at this dunk contest stuff, I'm just kind of puzzled how, because not just y'all, I've been seeing a lot of people say Bron ruined the dunk contest. But it's kind of hard to say somebody ruined the dunk contest when it actually didn't exist. They had already took it out because it was already ruined when he was in middle school. But they'll blame me for it because it came back. But I don't know. But I mean, I just think that's just the fair thing to do. You wake up in the black community, you got to blame LeBron and you blame Jay-Z for everything that goes wrong. That just
now, let me tell you something. Jody, I just want to say this. I hate this concept with this younger generation that to whom much is given, much is actually fucking expected. If you're going to carry the mantle of the league, then fucking carry the mantle of the league, or don't embellish that you are that individual. You can't have it both ways. If the tradition for Dr. J to Michael Jordan to Vince Carter and everybody in between, but you so elevated in who your brand and because like Rich Paul said, it's about the brand. It ain't about the shield. And the shield is what the face of the league is supposed to encompass in your mission.
Okay. Well, the thing about last word, so go ahead, give me your last word, because I want to talk about Dame Lillard's three-point contest. But talk to me what you got to say about LeBron, and we'll go back around the horn about Dame Lillard winning three.
I don't think LeBron ruined the dunk contest. I mean, like you said, he was never in it. I mean, it would have helped if he would have gotten the dunk contest. But at this point, it's too late for that. So it is what it is. I mean, they need to fix this shit somehow, get some bigger names in it, or just get rid of it before I'm concerned.
Hey, so you know what I wanted? I want to see Luka Doncic and the Joker in the goddamn dunk contest where they jumping over a goddamn piece of paper. That's what I want to see. I want to see these two motherfuckers jump over a piece of paper. That'll be exciting. But no, going around, man, Donald, the Dame Lillard hasn't played the game in over a year. Hasn't played the game. He comes into the three-point contest and knock off some heavy hitters. Of course, I believe Steph didn't shoot in it. But Dame Lillard has not played. He wins, and it looked like Devin Booker was a little pissed off about that. Donald, talk to me about that, man. Dame Lillard winning the three-point contest.
I mean, he can shoot the ball. First of all, he got fresh legs, and that's all he's been doing. Because I don't think he's like doing super hard runs, cut. So that's all he's doing right now. And at the end of the day, he know how to shoot the ball. That wasn't a question. So wasn't really surprised. What I was surprised is Devin Booker missing 3 in a row to tie it. That was correct. I didn't think he was gonna do that. Didn't he was gonna miss those 3, but I ain't surprised that Dame won it all. Because like I said, that's all he's been doing, and he's a shooter, and that's all he's been doing for us working out, getting back.
So what do you think about that? Fatigue was not an issue for Dame. He got fresh legs. That means is he gonna be ready after the All-Star break? What the fuck is going on? But Devin Booker did not look happy about Dame Dollar winning that 3-point.
Hey, he just blamed himself. It wasn't no judges involved in this. It's called you missed shots and I made them. So if he can be mad at anybody, he got to be mad at himself. It's not like the judge gave him a 47 when he think he deserves a 49. You missed those threes at the end, so you can blame yourself for Dame. Dame time is a real thing. Now he's back in Portland where he deserves to be at. I'm happy for it. I think they should incorporate, because I think all these old school dudes can still shoot. Let's say we bring back Reggie Miller, Ray Allen, and some of those 3-point shooters against the new guys. I think that would be great. I mean, it's not you don't have to have a lot of stamina involved. Give them time to practice. I guarantee Reggie and Ray Allen and some of these other guys to give these young dudes a hell of a time in the 3-point contest.
That's a good idea. That's once again you got some great news. I want Glenn Rice back in the 3-point contest.
There you go.
Because that's gonna bring Sarah Palin to the 3-point contest. He was knocking off some of that snow bunny. Mike, what did you think about Dame? Man, Dame time. It looked like he definitely can shoot it. Do it look like he can come back? What do you think about that? And Devin Booker did not have a nice look. He didn't look very happy. What do you think about that?
He was looking real light skinned out there. That's what he was doing. Hating on the dark skin, brother. Just can't let it go, you know. I know that you was upset too, deep down inside.
Oh,
Dame light skinned though. What are you talking about? Like,
Dame Lillard is not light
yes,
skinned.
he is.
He's about your so you light skinned now.
No, I ain't light skinned.
Dame about my color, pretty much.
True.
Oh, he borderline. But as to what I saw, and I think Soul is having some great ideas right now. Except I take it a step further. I get rid of the dunk contest and have the Legends 3-point shootout before the 3-point shootout. That might actually be fantastic because then you got, like you said, I think you got Reggie Miller. I think you got Ray Allen, who probably still putting up shots. I think you got maybe Craig Hodges, probably still putting up shots. If you can shoot, you can shoot. And I think now that would probably satisfy my taste buds as opposed to watching what we watch now. As far as Dame goes, Dame Lillard can still play in the NBA. It's not really a question. He's not going to be Dame time no more. That's over with. I don't think that the physical body will allow for that to be the case because he's either not going to be able to play that many minutes, or if he plays that many minutes, he's going to be hurt again. But if he's ready to accept a role similar to what Klay Thompson has been, trying to navigate, then I think he got some more mileage left. But if you're looking at Dame to be your number 2 or 3 option, then you're probably misjudging the situation.
I think he can be. I'm personally. Jay Kane, the chef in the building, he said they should let the G League players get in the dunk contest. Nobody's going to watch that, though, Kane, because they got their own All-Star weekend. So letting the G League guys, it's still going to be the same. I don't give a fuck how amazing their dunks are. I think it's more about you not knowing who these guys are than the actual dunk. That's why. So when Donald say, "Yo, LeBron ain't got no good dunks," it don't fucking matter. It's a lot of guys that won dunk contest and they won, and everybody thought it was a great weekend just because who they were. And my thing is when we stop having those stars year in and year out, not getting in dunk contests. Ant-Man should have been in dunk contest because it ain't just on LeBron. Ant-Man is young enough and sprawl enough. He should have been in dunk contest at one point in time.
That's a great point, Joe.
It's other guys that should have been in the dunk contest that did not do it over the course of time. So that's where I think the problem is not about the actual dunks. I think I'm okay. I mean, because it ain't really nothing you can do unless you're gonna do a 360 off the moon and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it's about the guys in it. But far as and also he said he kind of thought that Dame Time was gonna win, talking about Jay Kane and Chef. King Minks in the bank said, "What's good to my brothers? I got the show. No, absolutely show mad love." Jay Kane said, "Let the dudes from social media get into the dunk contest." And then he said, King Minks said, "Today and tomorrow is National Side Chick Day." I ain't about to get into that. I don't know nothing about that. But to what Jay Kane's point is, I don't think you need to let anybody that's not participating or play major minutes be in a dunk contest. I think that is nobody gives a fuck. If we hold on, let's go around this. If like Zion, John Morant, Ant-Man, if you said that because I think Zach LaVine was trying to get back in it, Aaron Gordon, some of the guys that had some good dunks during the game. Y'all telling me y'all wasn't gonna tune in if y'all seen them motherfuckers in dunk contest? You would have tuned in just to see what happened. I did not want to tune in this bullshit. I had no idea who these motherfuckers was. But Dame winning the 3-point contest, man. I was really shocked because I'm like, a guy hasn't played his stamina. How does he have his stamina where he can still shoot the ball at that level? But Devin Booker, you've been in and out the lineup too, so nigga, you can't say nothing about you missed a lot of games this year too. But it was overall, Donald. What do you grade All-Star Weekend so far?
It's All-Star Weekend. I mean, it's been an F. I mean, for my whole life, I never was into. It's not real basketball. It's not. It's nothing. It's for the parties and the girls, and it's not for basketball. I've never understood. That's not what All-Star Weekend is about.
Hey, Donald, it's funny. This dude, he was 6'8", but he never played the NBA. He said, "Man, I got so many chicks because they thought I'm playing the league." It was an Indian. It was a guy here. that I know. He went. I ain't gonna say his name, but it was in Indianapolis, and he went up there and he was like, man, I think he was like 6'6". He said he was snagging all the chicks, man, because they thought he was in the league. So what do you grade All-Star?
Hey Jody, that reminds me of back in that they had a Final Four here in San Antonio a lot. So years ago, that back when I used to go to clubs and shit. Me and my sister were at this club, and this dude, I was going to get a drink or something. Told my sister he was a sick, tall brother. Yeah, I played for Kentucky, whoever the team was at the time. My sister was like, really? My sister don't know sports. My brother's here. I mean, let me go get him. And he can find out, verify who you are. Yeah, that motherfucker kick rock. You ain't playing no goddamn Kentucky.
Lying ass nigga. Lab ass nigga. Lame ass nigga.
Right now, I would give it a C-. I'm looking forward to see how they're going to do this World versus US thing. They're probably going to fuck this up, but I'm looking forward to see how they're going to do this, and then I'll grade it for after that.
Okay. Mike, what grade do you give All-Star Weekend so far?
I'm certain to give the parties and all the celebs A+ for what they're doing. If you've never been to an NBA All-Star game weekend, buddy, it is something that you I recommend one do it one time before, in your prime too. You need to be in your prime because you're gonna need stamina because the nights don't end and the mornings just begin. One other thing before I give this, and I want y'all to see this. You see this right here? See, this is what you get when your side piece is your main piece, and you're still getting hearts and Valentine's.
Is that a Rice Krispie treat?
Absolutely.
I thought it was a rice cake, nigga.
Well, us old motherfuckers got to have some sugar in their system before I fall out and shit. So
these are facts.
But right now, I'm not gonna be as critical so Donald doesn't stroke out and just think that I only like shit that happened in 1987. I'm gonna give this a C-, and it has a chance with this new format to work its way up to a B+ if this international thing creates more competition and really generates some juice. It could minus the All-Star game, it could get to A status, Donald. It has a chance.
You ain't gonna have no argument. I gave it an F.
I ain't gonna even lie, Donald. I'm right with you. This shit is fucking, and the F is for fucking.
I think they mad. Charles Barkley ain't out there kissing people, and that's crazy.
I give it an F because they're not max. Every year that somebody has a fucking complaint, they change it. Roll with some shit first and quit changing everything. First of all, y'all change it from the original fucking format and y'all adding all this extra shit. I don't want to see all this extra shit. If you're going to have all this extra shit, make it on Friday and make it like with the celebrity game. That's cool. All that shit cool. Celebrity game. Myles Garrett out there fucking balling out, nigga. If you hurt your ankle, I'm going to be fucking pissed off, nigga. Sit your monkey ass down with your athletic ass. He a cyborg or some shit.
Yeah, he is.
But my thing is, put all that shit on Friday. I like what Soul is saying. Put the Young Stars game as the focal point. Put the dunk contest as the first. Put the dunk contest at 8 a.m. in the morning. like, put that shit up before you even get your Razor brand in your system. The 3-point contest is higher. I feel like is a higher caliber than the dunk contest. So I would have the Rising Star game as the focal point, 3-point contest, and then everything else. All-Star Weekend. It may be a little competitive, but it's a lot of people not going to be playing in this game because due to injury, you know what I'm saying? But and last but not least, before I go talk about something else, Michael, what did you think about Nick Wright said it should be the white guys against the black guys in the All-Star game? What did you think about that?
Hey, man, I don't always agree with Nick Wrong, but Nick Wrong was really right on this one, Lord have mercy. Because it would give folks like him, us, everybody, because you know how it's gonna be. You from around here now. God damn it, you can lose the Dunbar, you can lose the Meadowdale, motherfucker. If you lose the Altar or Beaver Creek or Centerville, just don't bring your ass back to the hood. Nobody wants to talk to you. You niggas suck, right?
Especially Carroll. Don't lose the Carroll, motherfucker.
Well, I don't even know anything about that. I've never heard of such.
Shit, we lost to Carroll twice in the fucking playoffs, back-to-back years.
Good Lord. That's why they tore y'all building.
No, I'm talking about when I coached at Thurgood.
Oh, well, they should have rebuilt Colonel White because that would have never happened at C-Dub under no circumstances. But, yeah, that would bring out but I'm going to tell you right now, if you think that the white guys might not win, you would be out of your fucking mind. Because with the Joker, Luca, Flag, Con Knipple, I'm telling you, man, there's actually hip-hop needs this to happen in hip-hop, a resurgence. Because the resurgence of the white guy is happening in the NBA. And shout out to the white guys. After all that, white men can't jump and this, that, and the other, they have crafted out where jumping is no longer important. They gave you an extra step so that you can travel in that school. And now it's leveled the playing field. And so shout out to Cooper Flag and the white guys. It'll be a great game. Okay. Absolutely tremendous.
So what do you think about that? Nick Wright saying that they said the black guys against the white guys and they need to play in Mississippi.
As a proud black man, there is no way in hell we can lose to the white guys in Black History Month. They just cannot happen. They got to show up, and I don't think they can beat us. Like Mike, all the guys Mike named, only one of them play defense, and that's Cooper Flag. Cooper Flag can't guard everybody, so no, they don't have a chance in snowball's hell to beat the brothers in a 5-on-5 competition. If they do, all those brothers turn in their black cards.
Because the thing about it, so I get what you're saying. Eagles Philly, he said Allen Iverson met Barack Obama this weekend. Check out. Yeah, I seen that picture.
Yeah, I saw that picture.
Saw them together. That was good stuff, man. Donald, what do you think about the blacks against the whites playing in south part of Alabama?
I think that'd be the most. I think that if you want a conversation, I think that would be the most competitive way to do things. Just because we don't want to lose to them. The foreigners. With foreigners against the world, nobody really cares about the foreigners. They don't care about it. It's not like a rivalry. I don't think it brings out the same as directly white and black. I don't think it brings out that. And then when Mike was talking about the players that could play for the white guys, and it was an all-star situation, you notice he didn't name nobody from Carolina. He named 2 Duke guys. But that's another story.
Because we don't have a bunch of white guys until
y'all don't have no black. Y'all don't have no black ones as all-stars either.
We got some white ones that's Hall of Famers, and y'all don't.
This is crazy work right here, though.
Christian Laettner damn sure ain't making no NBA Hall of.
This
is
no
more like
thing.
a Hall of Shame, nigga.
This is what
Christian Laettner Hall of Famer.
This is what's crazy work when you got the black against the whites. Now the white starting lineup would be crazy. You got Luca, Joker, Cooper Flag, Con Knipple. But when you get Austin Reed. After that, y'all motherfuckers are trash. That bitch
Austin Reed.
You got Plumlee off the bench. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Talk about it that it's gonna be competitive. It ain't gonna be the first quarter gonna be competitive. When you got a sub, nigga, you out of your fucking mind. Nigga, we got big dicks. What the fuck are you talking about? Dribble with that motherfucker. Remember that shit when he said that shit? Listen, man, I understand Nick Wright want to start some shit. I get it. But first of all, the nation ain't ready for that shit. We in 2026 and we still fucking got racism shit going on. You tell man, the Klan will be at the goddamn game. The Black Panthers will be outside. Nigga, the skinheads. No, we don't need that shit because we gonna beat the fuck out of them, and it's gonna be crazy work because after y'all starting 5, y'all bringing niggas in. Like who? Who are y'all bringing in?
Well, first off,
we got Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Joel Embiid, LeBron James. Man, come on, get the fuck out of here, man. We gonna beat the fuck out of him. Giannis, nigga, what? No, they got Chet. Okay, you got Chet. Nigga, y'all not competing with the fucking. That's dumb. No, that was dumb.
Hey, Jody, here's a question me and my son talked about the other day. So what if you're half black? You only get to play one half on the black side, and the other half you gotta go to the white side. Is that how that works?
I put it to you this way: Jason Tatum and the Boozer twins all be able to play a half on each side.
There you go. There you go.
Because that's how they roll over that way.
You get the reversible jersey, you rock it, baby.
Oh no, Jason Tatum from the blackest part of America, East St. Louis. Jason Tatum black.
But this is the thing,
well,
y'all.
Somebody white.
Hold on. According to actually, he's not. His mom is black.
He looked just like his mom. His mom.
Yeah, his dad is black. But this is the thing. Even with that being said, like Soul said, do they play football? I think Devin Booker's mixed, and I know Trae Young is mixed. But the thing about it is, according to the rules of go look it up. If you got 1/8 black and you consider black, so it don't fucking matter. That they made the rules. We didn't write the Constitution.
But guess what?
That motherfucking rule when they signed the Declaration of Independence.
But guess what, Jody?
That's still serving drinks.
If you stick to that, you may find out the whites might not have anybody to play. Because if you stick to that criteria, they actually might be niggas.
We all from the motherland, brother. We all from the motherland.
That's crazy. I was having a conversation with some people yesterday. We was talking about what it was about the public school system and stuff. And I was just explaining to them, like, if you look, the everybody is getting lighter and lighter and more mixed as you go to sports. Because nowadays, sports, it's that them hood stories is coming to an end. It's really about those guys in the suburbs and who can afford to train their kid to be that good nowadays. So the hood stories are going less and less. It's hard. It's really, really hard to make it from public schools nowadays. It's just making it harder. A lot of people are going to the you wouldn't know about this. A lot of people are hard, huh? Yeah, it's making it real hard. But it's making it, but like nobody's out of. If you watch like All-American games, everybody from such and such prep or such and such prep or this guy's son junior or somebody out the suburban schools. A lot of guys going to St. X's and Molars and just schools outside of. Trotwood is the only person that around here that's producing. You got Springfield, which is actually public school, but a lot of teams it's becoming harder to make it from. It used to be a lot of stories where he came from nothing and this and this. Those stories are getting shorter and shorter, and these players are getting lighter and lighter. Not white, but half and half, because a lot of brothers are moving out or getting themselves together, moving to them suburbs, and that's the kids they're grooming, because that's who can afford to train their kid up to make them the best player now. And the older stories are going further and further away.
I don't know about that. Maybe I'm not seeing it in football because, Jeremiah Smith is black as all get out. And I know you better double cover that motherfucker. You're going to end up not in a good disposition. Malachi Tony is black with dreads, look like Black Jesus out there.
I'm not saying that.
And that's just off the just mere top of my head.
I'm not saying they not black. What I'm saying is the thing that's going on is a lot of them are moving to some kids are going to public school. A lot of people are going to I feel like Soul left out of the conversation, but no, like the people are. I know, like I know kids now talking about, I'm going to St. X, or I'm going to Moeller, or I'm going to such and such, which takes that, and then you start to liking a different type of woman. Okay, like a Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter was blacker than black, but then now his kids, if you get to raise them kids, they're not going to be blacker than black. And
so
that's
you
just
saying that white folks is infiltrating us. And they're going to eliminate us through reverse elimination by 2100, where we'll all be dead. There'll be no more brothers because they won't.
It's a lot of that going on. A lot of people believe in it going where they celebrate it, not where they tolerate it. So,
but this is the thing. Donald got a point, but so I'm gonna ask you about this. With Donald's point, I think it's more basketball than football. Because I think once you see it, if you notice how good a player is. So when they like LeBron James, and now with social media, we got fifth graders getting ranked. So we already on that fifth grade. He's the number one fifth grader. How the fuck are you the number one fifth grader in the country? Nigga, you just stopped pissing in the bed. How the fuck is you the best fucking fifth grader in the goddamn country? So talk to me about that. I think is it more basketball than it's football with Donald? He got some legs on what he's saying, but mine do too, because I think it's more football than it's basketball.
That's Donald was 100% on this, man. Like he said, not only these brothers are going to classier schools, also we're gonna have a lot of former players. Their sons are going to be in the league, and they didn't grow up in the hood. So that's going to be the reality in the NBA in the next 20 years. It could be a bunch of juniors, and man, he looked like such and such. That's going to be a lot of that moving forward. I would say the hoodest dude in the NBA right now is Ant-Man. I don't give a damn what nobody say.
Yeah, that's crazy work. King Mink said he said Al Sharpton would have been there. Eagle Silly said I don't pay Nick Wright no mind. All he care about is Kansas City Chiefs. He be hating on the Eagles. And then King Mink said, Mike, who gonna do the white side performance? And Don, who gonna do the black side performance? So Mike, who gonna be the halftime?
Oh, I already tell you, I'm gonna find the whitest white guy. I'm gonna have Kid Rock at that motherfucker. Y'all gonna be mad as
Mike, I was thinking more Willie Nelson.
Nah, Willie Nelson is a stoner, so he like everybody. Kid Rock is a former rapper, rock star.
He's still a rapper.
Detroit now Trump go-to guy. I mean, conservative, but I watched him with the little white midget on stage when he was Kid Rock, when he was rocking, and they was wild as fuck. And now he's what he's morphed into. So as polarizing as he is, I'm going with Kid Rock to represent the whites.
Okay, Donald, who you got on the black?
We gonna go black. We gonna go black. I'm gonna go a duo. We gonna go Trick Daddy and Sexy Red.
Yo, that's crazy work. Who you got, so?
I got to go. I got Public Enemy. I'm gonna give me Chuck D and Flavor Flav. Yeah, we're gonna Public Enemy.
What? I'm going with G Money. Remember he was on I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm biggly please black, y'all. That's what I'm going with at the halftime.
Oh shit.
That's what I'm going
You done went all the way back to Straight Out of Low Cash.
Yeah.
CB4, baby. CB4. But hey guys, man, we got one of the most historical players of our time, one of the best point guards. They call him a point god. Chris Paul has finally retired. 12-time All-Star, 5-time assist champ, 6-time steals champ, 11-time All-NBA, 9-time All-Defensive Team, 16.8 points per game, 9.2 assists, 4.4 rebounds, 2 steals a game. Donald, where do you rank Chris Paul's career all time? Point guards.
Oh, you say my word? He's cool.
Wow.
He probably top 10. I just never been like a Chris Paul fan. Not saying he wasn't good, but top 10 out of all the guards who've ever played is really, really good. So I'm not saying he's not that, but maybe top 10. I don't think he's like the best guard, even of his like what's the word I'm looking for? While he played, even like over his tenure. I think it's it's certain people I would even put over there from his era and a couple from right before. So
okay. Hold that thought, because you know me, you know I'm already thinking. You already know me. So on sports. Chris Paul.
Well,
where you rank him?
I'm gonna steal this line from my son. He said Chris Paul is probably the best two-way point guard in NBA history. I like Chris Paul. I mean, he just had bad timing with his injuries. Very good basketball player. He might be the last purest old school point guard. I mean, he was that actually a passer first before he decided to do all the other things. I love this game. Didn't do a lot of winning, but when it comes to point guard, I would say Chris Paul is probably top 5, honestly.
Top 5.
Yeah, he's up there.
Top 5. Okay. Mike, the people said, where do you rank Chris Paul all time? Top 10, top 5, top 15? Where you got him at?
He's definitely in my top 10. I'd have to really
we're going to get to that.
Sit down and go through. I kind of knew where you was headed when, once again, the voice of the young people just all the way brought up a topic that's probably going to make us go there. But he's definitely in my top 10. I think sometimes what's going on with this newer generation of guys that are starting to retire. You know how there's this saying that you can be the hero if you're the hero for so long, you'll become the villain. And so it's kind of happening with LeBron. It's happening with Chris Paul. It's really post Kobe. Now they're kind of, to me, mistreating guys that deserve better treatment than what they're getting. It's like more popular just to disrespect these older veterans now. That you never saw that back in the day. You never saw when Pat Ewing was laboring up the court in Seattle. You didn't see nobody disrespecting him or talking bad on his name. And so I didn't like the fact that Chris Paul didn't get a chance to get his tour around the league and get the kind of send off that you would suspect that he had. And I know he played for a lot of teams, and his question is, well, what team would be responsible for that, whatnot. But this is just the league thing. He could have got that farewell tour because we all knew it was at the end. And but he will be remembered, and I think his legacy will grow as the further away from the game he is, as opposed to right now.
Yeah, I got Chris Paul probably right outside of my top 5, but this is my thing. I think all the teams that Chris Paul has played for, I think what we at about 10 teams or something that he played for.
Is that many?
I think it might have been 10, and we can go down and listen just a second, but I think he played for like 10. We'll figure that out. But my thing is, out of all that shit, they didn't let him go to the Lakers, and I really still believe that was the reason why he does not have a championship that year, that they blocked that trade for him to go play with Kobe. And I think if he would have got an opportunity to play with Kobe instead of him getting Steve Nash, ailing Steve Nash that don't play defense, back is all fucked up, and was at the end of his career, Chris Paul could have took a lot of pressure off of Kobe Bryant, because Kobe Bryant became the primary ball handler. And I think Kobe, at that time of his career, I think he beat his body up so much. He had to work so hard. If you had a younger Chris Paul that could have spelled him a little bit, I think Kobe and them could have potentially, remember, they ended up getting Dwight Howard. And Dwight Howard still had a lot of basketball game left in him. I think that if Chris Paul they would have let that trade go through, which I still to this day don't even know why it was blocked. I have no idea why that trade was blocked. But nevertheless, man, Chris Paul is the top 7. So we're going to go around the league. Go around the horn. And we kind of know some of the answers, but we're going to go and we're going to see where Chris Paul really ranks according to what we think on Against the Grain Sports. If y'all can bear with me for a moment. So I'm going to go to you, Mike. Chris Paul or Magic Johnson?
Magic.
So Chris Paul, Magic Johnson?
Magic Man.
Chris Paul, Magic Johnson, Donald?
Magic Man.
Okay, so we know Magic. Donald, Chris Paul or Steph Curry?
Steph Curry.
So?
I'm going Chris Paul. Steph Curry is the 2 guard to me. That's my opinion. To me, he's more of a great shooter, more than a point guard. I'm going Chris Paul.
Wow, okay. Mike, Chris Paul or Steph Curry?
Well, funny thing was, I was going to ask that same question, but if we're putting Steph in the point guard category, then I'm going with Steph. Because you shouldn't be a knock. It shouldn't be a knock as a point guard to be able to be the best shooter in the world.
He's definitely a point guard. Go look at it. Go look at his numbers. Go look at his numbers. Go look at his how many times he was the primary ball handler of his team. I know Draymond Green. To that point, to put Draymond Green at the point, because I think they handled the ball pretty similar. But I would say Steph Curry. So okay, Donald, Oscar Robertson or Chris Paul?
Oscar.
So
I'm gonna go to Big O.
Big O. Mike.
Oscar.
Okay. So he's down. He's already third. So
Women
this is where it gets tricky.
Big O.
This will get tricky. So John Stockton or Chris Paul?
Oh, CP3.
Mike.
John Stockton.
Donald.
Yeah. Oh, that's tough. This is really tough for me because I think they like very, very similar. I'm gonna go with John Stockton. But I think they like, but I think they are like.
I gotta keep it. I gotta go. No disrespect, my man John Stockton. I gotta go Chris Paul. Chris Paul could do a little bit more. And he played with if Chris Paul would have had a Karl Malone his whole career, I think he would have actually won a champion. He never had a player on his level. So not saying, John Stockton is definitely in my top 10, top 8, but I got to go Chris Paul over him. All right, now this is where it's going to get tricky. Soul on Sports. I'm going to ask you again. Russell Westbrook or Chris Paul?
I'm going CP3 again.
Mike.
I'm going Russell Westbrook.
Donald.
Russ all day.
This is another. I'm gonna go slightly Chris Paul over Russ, very slightly. I think Russ gets disrespected. He gets very much, but Chris Paul gets disrespected too. And once again, I believe that. Yeah, I'm gonna go CP3, but we splitting hairs on this one.
I just don't. What's just gonna confuse me about that particular one is, the 4 years or 5 years of triple doubles it's unheard of. I don't know. Neither one won a championship, so I can't split through those hairs. I know that Russ is a better athlete, more dynamic. I just don't know how you get. I don't know how you get to Chris Paul being better than Russ.
Russell won. He won the league MVP. Like your accolades got to work for somewhere. Chris Paul don't have nothing like that, and like he won championships over him. Russell total stats. Chris Paul has more steals and assists. But Russell has everything. I just like Russell more.
I say and this is why I say CP3 is better. I mean, all defense. You a 9-time all defensive. There's no other player that have more all defensive teams and all NBA teams combined, and that's including you. Now Westbrook had a run, like you said, of 4 or 5 years where he was that's 4 or 5 year run. Chris Paul was doing this late into his career. He helped take a Phoenix Sun team to the fucking finals, and he really could have won MVP that year. He was up for MVP that year. And the only person he had on his team winning was Devin Booker. And then we talking about a younger Devin Booker. We talking about a guy that led the NBA in steals multiple years. So we know that Chris Paul was going to play some defense and he was going to assist the pad. And he wasn't out. Chris Paul wasn't just out there padding the stats either. Sometimes I like Russ, but Russ was out there sometimes making sure he got triple doubles. And then all of a sudden, once he knew he got a triple-double, that nigga shot the ball every time he got it in the fourth quarter. Like, once he knew he got that triple-double on assist, that motherfucker was firing that thing up. Like,
man, Russ is the most over-scrutinized point guard ever. He played with Kevin Durant.
Did I say a lie? Did I say a lie about what he just did?
Yeah, I think I'm not going to call you a lie. I think that's a skewed vision of what was going on because Russ's teams needed him to do. When he was on that triple-double spree, his teams needed him to do.
They weren't winning nothing either.
Huh?
They weren't winning nothing when he was getting them triple-doubles either. He didn't win anything.
Well, they were in the playoffs, and the teams were only as good as they could be.
Everyone makes the playoffs in the NBA, Mike.
They weren't great teams, and then when he did play on the great team, he was the driving force of that great team. Durant was scoring the basketball.
Hold on,
James Harden was scoring the basketball. Russ was controlling the team, and when Durant would take them nights off, that people act like this didn't happen, and I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
You send them to me.
Then
right.
Russ would step up, and Russ was forced into that role early in their career because Durant would not step up to the challenge early on.
Who won the MVP first, Kevin Durant or Russell Westbrook when they played for OKC? Who won the MVP?
I don't.
You did okay. Now you don't know.
No, I really don't know. I didn't know.
KD won the MVP.
The league MVP.
KD won the MVP with Russell Westbrook.
Who brings the ball up the court?
Point guard.
Russ.
Everybody.
Russ was there when they wasn't doing that.
Oh, right. So this is my thing. Now, but I'm not knocking what you're saying. I'm not saying it's not accurate, but just send it to me because I got a lot of like video evidence of even when they was come back through a lot of situations where KD is on his spot like here, and Russ is like, fuck that, I'm going to do this. So a lot of times he's at fault for making a lot of bad decision making. But that's here and there.
So was KD MVP on Oklahoma City when Russell Westbrook was on the team too?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess it's the same way that Jaylen Brown was, but never mind. Go ahead.
But Jaylen Brown did it for a series, not a season.
Well,
he didn't even lead the team.
MVP than the
and
league
Jaylen Brown didn't even lead the team in stats. KD led the team in scoring. What are we talking? What, Mike? You make no sense.
If Russell was a better shooter, I probably would have put him above Chris Paul because he's definitely one of those guys when he's out there on the perimeter. If you playing defense, give him some space because the nigga can't shoot.
But let me ask you this: which of them do you think was a better on-ball defender?
Chris Paul.
Russell Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook's a much better on-ball defender.
Shit. You ain't getting. See, my thing is y'all keep thinking you wasn't getting around Chris Paul. Paul. If you look at
Russ?
Go watch. Listen, Russ was sometimes a liability defensively. Go listen. I watched this shit. I ain't saying he was a liability. I'm saying he sometimes was because he's exerted so much offensive energy. My thing is, go watch Chris. It's hard to get Chris Paul was keeping people out the paint, and that's what a good point guard does.
There were a few years where they were saying that Russ was the best two-way player in the league because he defended at such a high level.
I just told you, Russell Westbrook had a run of about 4 or 5 years where he was probably top 5 in the game easy. But he's playing 18 fucking years. You say this shit about LeBron James. You say LeBron James played all these years, got 4 championships. That's your argument with this. But now you're gonna say that Russell Westbrook is the best because he did it for 4 or 5 years. Come on, man, Mike. What are we talking here?
No, I didn't say because he did it. I said for 4 or 5 years he was considered the best two-way player. At no point in time has Chris Paul been considered the best two-way player in the league. At no
because
point in time.
he doesn't score like I get that because he don't score. This is y'all, hold on. I got some. Young Chris said he started. This is how he said that. He said Chris Paul top 5 point guard. Okay, that's his opinion. But when he put his list up, I gotta go ahead and throw it. I gotta go ahead. He said he got Curry over Magic. That right there is blasphemy. That's crazy work. That's crazy.
To who?
You know, some people, to me, it's a little blasphemy to say anybody's better than Magic for what he did. And we talk about a guy that played 12 years, 5 championships, and we talk about LeBron James. Magic Johnson went to 9 finals. The motherfucker went to 9 finals out of 12 years. That's the conversation nobody want to fucking have. This nigga played 12 years and went to 9 finals and won 5.
Yeah, everybody wants to have it. You're as good as your teammates allow you to be.
He made those teammates better. Okay. He went to the final. Hold on, Donald. This nigga went to the finals with Vlade Divac as his second best player because James Worthy got hurt.
James Worthy was out there.
James Worthy got hurt when they played against the Bulls.
He didn't play. James Worthy didn't play in that series.
He got hurt. So he took the second best player on and Byron Scott hurt his ankle. The second best player on that team was Vlade Divac.
So when did James Worthy get hurt?
He got hurt in the playoffs, something like that. He got hurt in the finals, right?
No, he didn't get hurt in the finals. He got hurt.
He played in the finals. He played.
He got hurt like in the first game.
He got hurt in the finals. So therefore Magic Johnson, when he took them to the finals, they had James Worthy.
Let me ask you a better question, Donald. For this. Out of those 5 championships, out of those 9 years going to the finals, how many times did the Lakers win the championship without Magic Johnson at the point guard?
I'm not saying he's not the best.
Okay, so I know you're not saying because you can't.
Yes, I can. I can't actually say it because my thing. Because I believe that Magic Johnson won more championships with Larry Bird, but I think Larry Bird is a way better player than Magic Johnson. But that's
and that could be true.
And I believe that. So the championship thing is not valid because I do believe that Larry Bird is better than Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson won more championships. So that's just.
I think Magic made more people better. But it's funny because Chris said, "Oh well, LeBron took the finals. He had Z was not you forget Mo Williams was an all-star. Do y'all forget? Do y'all know who y'all talking to? Mo Williams was a fucking all-star.
Jody,
they didn't have no when they first went to the finals. They didn't have
Mo Williams played with LeBron on one of them teams. What are we talking about?
Hey, look, do you know how
he had Larry Hughes too?
Do you know how many former all-stars played in Cleveland with LeBron? I can go to Antoine Jameson.
20 points a game.
I can go to Mo Williams. That's why they went and got Mo Williams. They went and got Larry Hughes because he was Allen Iverson's sidekick, and they felt like they put him with LeBron. That was going to work. They went and got Carlos Boozer. They went and got Shaq. They went and got every fucking all-star that you could imagine, but they love to say that on these Cleveland teams, nobody was on the team.
And I'm not going.
They went and got Shaq.
Hold on, we ain't gonna get into that.
Shaq was washed.
No, we ain't gonna get into
But
that.
they still went and got him, so
He said
they was
that,
trying
he
to
said
scrape
Mo
the
Williams,
mayonnaise out of the mayonnaise jar at 2 a.m.
He said Mo Williams was equivalent to Kyle Korver. That's not fair because Mo Williams averaged 18 points a game. Come on, man. Come on, guys. Like this, don't just say stuff because it sounds good. Go make sure to do the research. He averaged about 18 points a game. Come on,
well,
that's not bullshit. Averaging 18 points a game ain't bullshit. When you look at the Detroit Pistons team that won the championship, their leading scorer was fucking Chauncey Billups or Rip Hamilton, and I think Rip Hamilton was right at 20 a game. And Chauncey Billups was averaging 16, 17 points. Come on, guys.
That Detroit team
is cool
best
for other
player
people,
around the
but
team
ain't
ever.
cool for other people.
So would you say that Chauncey? So would you say that Mo Williams is as good as Chauncey Billups?
I didn't say that.
I know.
I'm not saying. What I'm saying is we can't just throw stuff out there. All I'm saying is have some content with it. Don't act like Mo Williams was just a bum. That's all I'm saying.
I ain't saying he's just a bum. He's an NBA player. But the Magic thing, I do think. I'm not saying that Curry. I think Curry better for certain stuff. I think Magic better for certain stuff. I would say Magic is greater because I'm looking at his accomplishments and his thing. Magic is greater than me.
I think Magic is greater because people underestimate how players play with certain people. When Magic got on the court, people ran the lanes harder. Am I correct? So
yeah, you're right.
People got to the lanes because they know Magic was gonna give them the ball. Y'all know when y'all play with a motherfucker that gun that y'all don't play that hard. Come on, bro. If you know a motherfucker ain't gonna pass you the ball, you are not running the floor. But with Magic, everybody got in the lanes. Motherfuckers like Kurt Rambis was getting buckets. Motherfuckers like AC Green was getting buckets. You put AC Green, Kurt Rambis, Michael Thompson, Michael Cooper. You put these niggas on any other team in the league, we wouldn't even know their names.
But I do.
Think about all the assists Magic had during the game and all the raw dogging he was doing after the game. Magic Man was putting in work, baby. He had the magic in his Johnson. You know
hey, let me tell you something. Back in that time frame, you could tell what guys was doing what in the league. Because just by their nicknames, you got Magic Johnson, you got Big Game James. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm
saying? So you
saying
saying they didn't get their name from the game? They got their name off the court. Is what you trying to say?
Might be something to that.
Yeah, Wilt is still.
Yo, that's crazy work.
But I do think different people would have done. I think the system's just different because I don't think that Magic Johnson can do what Steph Curry done for those players that he had around him. I don't think Steph Curry could have done for the finishers, Pauls, that Magic Johnson had around him. I believe that every situation is different and everything is good for different situations.
What about Magic's revolutionizing the game to where every player that's 6'7" or taller that faces the bucket now and has the ball in their hands, they've got to be from that tree because he's the first 6'9" point guard that I know that I ever heard of and certainly ever saw. And then you got the McGrady. From that, you got all of these 6'9" dudes now that handle the ball, including LeBron.
You're saying it like I'm not saying that Magic is the greatest. I'm telling you, I believe.
I'm laughing, guys, because they said that Magic wasn't a good scorer. Magic, even though he was a true point guard, still averaged 19 points a game. I ain't never seen a motherfucker that's not a good scorer. I see motherfuckers that's their career high. And let's go back, and I'm gonna move on. But let's go back. If Magic had to score, we seen what Magic had to do when the nigga played center. He scored 42 points, 15 rebounds, and 7 assists when he had to play center. Guess what? Magic Johnson was a team guy. He went and played what was the best position for him was the point guard to get everybody involved. So to sit up here and say Magic couldn't score, but he still was giving you 19 points a game is crazy work. If you were past first point guard and you can still score down there 20 points a game, he ain't Derrick Rose. He ain't none of these guys that shoot the ball first. Magic was he was the purest fucking point guard that we ever seen. And to say that this guy he made everybody around him better. And that's
most definitely.
I will say this. I believe Magic is greater. But to me, I like Isaiah Thomas's game better. I think Isaiah Thomas is better than Magic Johnson. That's just me. I think Magic is the greatest. His resume is because I feel like a resume is. I think it's a difference in best and greatest. But I do think Isaiah Thomas was better. I think Magic Johnson is the greatest point guard of all time.
I'm gonna go around the horn. Last question. Young Chris said Curry changed the way that people play the game. So I'm going to go around the horn. I'm going to go with you, Mike. We're going to go around and we're going to go to college basketball. Mike, if he changed the game, how many people have won championships using the Steph Curry game plan?
One. Himself.
Exactly.
But I do believe that Steph Curry has an impact on the game. I do believe he has influenced the game. I think he's influenced the game far more than LeBron, because everybody can't just lower their shoulder and bull through to the rim as their primary move when this is actually a skill that has changed the game. Iverson, they made rules against his crossover. Jordan's athleticism at the 2 guard spot revolutionized the game. Kareem's hook shot revolutionized the game. Wilt's dominance revolutionized the game. Shaq's post presence revolutionized the game. So, you know, you cannot say that Steph Curry did not revolutionize the game, but you can't not say that other players such as Magic didn't, because there would be, it eventually would have got there, but there would be no prototype for guys 6'9", because Magic knocked down threes when necessary, they couldn't keep him out of the lane. He posted up. The man played center, for Christ's sake, and scored 40 points in a championship game, not just a regular season game where he just did it. In fact, I believe it was a closeout game.
Yes, sir.
And he was a rookie.
Be nice. Nobody's not saying he's nice. But this is a question for Mike. How much does hardware matter? I'm just asking, just because we're talking about point guards, and I've been having a debate with some people about hardware and stuff. Like, how much does it matter?
I think and when you add up the resumes and all things, then the hardware starts coming into play, because what are we playing for? That's why I said I would rather be finals MVP. I'd rather have 6 final MVPs than 1 regular season MVP.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. If you've been in the league MVP, the finals MVP, you've won a championship, you've been first team All NBA 3 times, and that's more than 95% of all these point guards. Would that make you one of the top guards of all time if you've done more than they've done?
Absolutely. And I know where you're going. He's talking about Shea just as
I was just making sure, because Shea Gilly he's done way more than all these guys.
Gilly easily gonna be a top 5 point guard all the time.
Easily. I'm saying he's just done more than a lot of guys already. So my thing is, how, you know,
Shea Gilly is on his way. He's definitely in my top 10 already, and I think he's gonna keep climbing that list. So what do you think about that? Steph Curry, we know that he changed the game, but changing the game, how many championships have anybody won with this new philosophy of changing the game?
Well, like Mike said, he's the only one that can really do what he does. Kind of like Elijah Wan can only do. He's the only center that can do what he did in the league. So yeah, I love Curry's game, but he might have influenced it in a bad way. You got guys taking half-court threes that shouldn't be taking half-court threes, and not everybody's built like Steph Curry. So I would say he's done his thing, but change the game. No, because most people can't do what he does.
So I'm going to go to Donald. One more question. Do you think Steph Curry put the end to the back to the basket players?
No, I think people who could play basketball and put the and face up. Because I mean, when you turn your back to a basketball player in basketball, you're usually inferior to the guy taking the ball from you. That's what happens a lot of times on the back to the basket. I don't think he put it into it. I think guys became more skilled. And therefore, they people like to play being able to see the rim, because it gives you more options when you're facing up rather than turning your back to the basket. It's easier to pass out of a face-up. It's easier to shoot out of a face-up. It's easier to go by a guy and finish out of a face-up. The back to the basket game is more so security, but it limits your options of offense because you can't see the weak side and got to make a behind the back pass. I mean, behind your head pass.
So guys like Shaq, back to the basket. Tim Duncan, back to the basket. You know, guys like Wilt Chamberlain, back to the back. So these guys that used the back to the basket method and won championships and dominated and scored over 30 points a game.
David Robinson.
I didn't see.
Mike, Kobe.
Go ahead.
So what I'm saying is, the reason why I say this Steph Curry, I'm not saying he killed anything. I think Steph Curry did. We can't get mad at Steph Curry what he did. He influenced the game, but I don't know if he influenced the game for the better, is what I'm saying. I don't know if he influenced it, because we got teams now shooting 40-something three-pointers a game. Back in the day, you know, in 91 or 92, I think they averaged 6 per team, 6 3-point shots, not makes, shots. And my thing is, now that they're shooting, and look, if you want to shoot a 3, I was a 3-point shooter. Shit, by all means, shoot that motherfucker. But when you're sitting up and you getting blown out of the game, that's why Golden State, have you noticed with Golden State, Donald, where either they blow a motherfucker out back in the day, or remember how many times Golden State got blown out? You're like, how the fuck did they get blown out? Because you're not going to hit every game, Donald.
I understand that.
How about this?
And my thing with Steph Curry, I think he's influenced the game probably more than anybody I've ever of all time. Now, whether it's right or wrong, that's a whole different question. Now, if you influenced it for the better or worse, I think that's a different question. But I don't think it's ever been a like, okay, they play Magic played the pure point guard game. That was their way. Jordan's was more so the ISO game. The ISO game went through Kobe. ISO game went through Braun, but Braun was passing also. But I don't think it's a whole wave of the whole way the NBA is playing. They're just shooting the three. Now, whether it's good or bad, that's a whole nother thing. But the influence is there. Now, it may not be for the good of it, but the influence is there.
Well, I don't think that Steph Curry is the reason why that happens to be the case. I really think that it's analytics that has influenced the basketball world. Analytics has coaches and general managers saying, well, if you shoot more threes and you make more threes than twos, then that eventually is going to give you more points. It's eventually going to allow you to win, so forth and so on. Now, what do we have happening here in the middle of my take? Somebody didn't get enough Valentine's.
All I'm going to say is that I don't like all the disrespect that's going towards Steph Curry. I understand Magic Johnson did what he did. Big impact on the game. The NBA would be out of business if it wasn't for Magic and Lakers. Magic Johnson did his thing, 5 rings, and he did come into a great situation with the Lakers. Obviously, whatever came up with Jabbar. But I do think Steph Curry changed the way the basketball is played. Like you just said, it might have been bad because now people are taking shots from 30 feet out. But the way the game is played, more players are able to replicate the way Curry played the game. A lot of players can't do the way Magic played the game because they're not physically gifted as that. They're not 6'9", they're not 250, not able to play the game as that. And understand we talk about Magic Johnson's passing. Let's talk about his scoring. Magic Johnson was not a good scorer at all. Well, I'll say jump shooter. He didn't have to. Understand that, but then if you want to be the #1 top point guard of all time, the whole offensive game has to be there. And his whole offensive game is not there.
He averaged 19 points a game.
He doesn't have a jump shot like that.
He averaged 19 points a game.
Yes, and he could have averaged more. And guess who averaged more than that? Steph Curry. Steph Curry averaged more than that.
Steph Curry shoots more than the Magic every day.
Because he's more talented when it comes to that. He's the best
shooter
of all time.
Can I ask this question? Or can I pose this as a thought, possibly? So if you take Magic's career point average and you take his career assist average and you look at his impact on the game, points-wise, how many points does Magic generate for a team in a game? You're going to find out that those numbers are going to be close. Steph averaged more points, less assists. Magic averaged less points, more assists.
I got a rebuttal for that because Steph Curry is probably the best screener in the history of basketball. How many times do you watch Steph Curry set a screen? Both guys have to stay. You both got to stay. You get a layup. How many times have you seen a 2-on-1 fast break? Steph drifts to the 3. You have to guard him. Like you seen the NBA Finals where it's a 2-on-1 fast break with KD and Steph. They rather let KD go dunk. Then because you give up more points and let Steph shoot an open 3. So it's a lot of things that don't go in the stat book to where you're affecting the game.
And I'm gonna say this, Christian, you're making some very valid points. You know, I always respect what you say. But to say that we disrespect Steph Curry, I think that's the only thing I'm gonna take away. I'm not disrespecting Steph Curry because I'm not saying the best. I'm saying he's second best. And the thing with Magic is this is what people don't really understand when it comes to Magic. When Magic when you feel the need that you can win, and Magic always played big in big time moments. There was times. You think that Magic would have ever let anybody else be the MVP of a finals multiple times?
Yes.
Magic Johnson was the finals MVP multiple times, and then James Worthy was the MVP. I think Kareem was the MVP.
Yeah, Kareem was the one too.
But I think Magic got what, 2?
3. I think 3.
Three out of 5.
Steph
Curry has 1 MVP of the finals, and he did not shoot well in the other ones. He didn't shoot well. Let's be real. He didn't shoot well. He didn't come up. He came up short. Whether it was the defense on him, best players, that's what I think the separation between Magic and Steph. I think Magic was a better postseason player than Steph Curry. And that's it.
And I think if anybody is standing on the sideline and you got the first pick and you want a point guard, most people are going to pick Magic. If you want a shooter, most people are going to pick
Ray Allen
are going to pick Steph Curry. Now, I don't think that it's wrong for Steph Curry to be. He did impact the game. I don't disagree with it, and I don't think he negatively did it. I think the analytics has fucked everything up and the way they're coaching it. But that ability is so universal because you are correct. All people can work on their craft and shoot a three-point shot. This is why everybody loves it so much. It made the game more appealing to people that are below 6'7", right? Because now you got the Dame Lillards, you got all these other guys that are still now able to get back in the league because they can shoot. And so I do think he's had a positive impact. I just think that the analytics, and don't let the analytics make Steph a negative impact, because he didn't tell everybody to start shooting threes. The league and the coaches start doing that based off of the numerics, not the eye test.
Right. But stick around. We're going to move to college basketball, because I do want to get this portion of the draft out the way. But we're going to talk college basketball. We got one top 25 matchup. We got Indiana at 17-8, who just had a big-time victory. People are saying they're on the bubble. They need a few more quality wins, and a quality win against number 8 Illinois on the road will definitely be considered as a quality win. Soul on Sports, man, who do you got in this matchup? Because Illinois has been struggling without having a lead guard, Bozeman. His name, no, Boswell. I'm sorry, not having Boswell in the lineup. They've been struggling with the ball handling. Who wins this game?
I'm gonna go fight the line out to take care of business at home in this one.
Little Chris, who you got?
I'm going with Illinois also. I think, obviously the March Madness is right around the corner, so they feel the pressure when it comes to the seeding and stuff like that. So Illinois is going to show up in this game, which obviously is going to mean a lot towards the end become the seeding.
Okay. Mike, who you got in this game? This is huge for Indiana. They definitely need this victory.
I think Indiana has to go out there and win. There's no question about it. They're the one on the bubble, not Illinois.
Okay. Donald, who you got?
I got the fighting Darren Williams.
We lose Mike? We lost Mike. Yeah. I'm going with Indiana. I think Indiana, when I seen them play, I know they're playing against Oregon, and Wilkerson dropped the 40-41 ball on them. And he is the only person in the Big Ten that got multiple 40-point games. So that's saying a lot when a guy can score. And nobody talks about Wilkerson. No, I don't know anybody that ever mentions his name when it comes to anything. This guy's a senior. He's a guy that he stayed in the program where he could easily transfer to somewhere else, and he stayed put in Indiana. And I think he's going to show improve, because Illinois, without having Boswell at the lead point guard position, they have struggled with turnovers and struggled with getting good quality shots. They're trying to put Wagler at the point guard, and Wagler's not a point guard. So I like Indiana to win on the road against a top 10 team, which will solidify them to get into the tournament. I do believe Indiana is a tournament quality team. So going back to you, so now we talking college basketball. Last night, before we get to the NFL portion, last night Texas Tech, number 16 in the country, knock off number 1 Arizona. Arizona lose back-to-back games in 1 week. Okay, Kansas, I understood.
Yeah.
You lose at home to Texas Tech. Talk to me. How concerned are you with that Arizona dropping back-to-back games?
Not at all, Joey. I still think they're an elite team in college basketball. Adversity builds character, man. You're gonna be losing some games. Now you know your shit does stink. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna go undefeated. Now you know to have your antennas up every single game. So I think it'll be a good thing for a team that I think they can win a championship to lose some basketball games during the season. Nothing wrong with it.
Okay. Young Chris, what do you think about that?
I'm with him on this. I mean, when it comes to losing in college basketball, it's going to happen. Even if you're number 1 team, it's almost impossible to go perfect and go undefeated nowadays with how much talent is going on. So I think, like you said, it builds character and it makes the team strong. Because, y'all been on the wrong side of the column. Now let's get back to the winning side. And now you know how it feels to lose this season, and you don't want to have that feeling again. So I do think Arizona is going to bounce back and going to make a deep run in March.
Okay. Mike, what do you think about that? They lose to a Texas Tech because your boy JT Top is 31-13. He went off on them. Is that concerning to you, because Arizona's having problems with guys that score down low? That's who they've been having problems with.
No, I'm gonna have to agree with the Soul on Sports family up there. They both were very accurate in their assessment. It's college basketball. Every year the national championship winning team typically has lost between 4 and 7 games. It's the way it goes. Losing 2 games in the middle of February against top-ranked opponents, one close, both relatively close games. It's not like they were blown out in any. We knew last week, we all said they weren't going to go undefeated. So this is what I expect. The thing that would be more alarming to me is that they may have to see these guys in the tournament, and now Texas Tech knows they can beat these guys, and that was what I took away. Not so much about how it's going to impact things now, but maybe down the road.
Okay, Donald, what did you think about that? And how concerned are you with Arizona?
I'm not concerned. I still feel like they're the best team in the country. They was up in the first half. The second, Pete got hurt, and he didn't play in the second half of the game also.
Yeah, he only played 11 minutes, right?
Yeah, so I think that meant a lot with him being, well, I think the other guy's a little better than him, but whatever. But he's one of the top 2 players. And also, when you lose to a team, people watch film. So if you just lost, I think that you kind of implement the same stuff that the team just beat them with the game before. But I think it's still enough time left for Arizona to fix whatever problem that they're seeing on film. So I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's better now than losing like in the Big 12 tournament and then still having to figure some stuff out without games in between the actual tournament.
Good stuff. And I agree with what everybody said, but I'm gonna go a little bit different against the grain slightly. I am a little concerned with Arizona because I've seen when you got a problem with post defensive things, teams like you said watch a lot of film, and they had a problem with the kid Flory. I can't say his last name. The big kid from Kansas. He had a huge game. Remember, he had the big double-double. JT Toppins. Both of these guys are left-handed too. JT Toppins come in, have a huge 30-point, 31-point, 13 rebound type of game. That's concerning to me because I know Peak was out, but your center is still playing. And I thought their center was the kid. He's a very he reminds me of the guy from North Carolina, the center, Henry Versay. He reminds me of him. He's not as physical as I would want him to be. And that's very concerning because now when guys are scoring in the post, that to me, that looks at what your physicality of your team is. And I thought Arizona was a very physical team early on. They probably gonna have to play the kid awake more off the bench. He's a guy that could probably average a double-double off the bench. I don't think anybody in history ever did anything like that. But I'm a little concerned, guys. I'm not going to sit up here. 2 losses. I understand the Kansas loss, but I really don't understand the Texas Tech loss because I think they're a better team than Texas Tech. So my antennas are up, guys. I'm going to go on record to say, is Arizona still one of the best teams in the country? Absolutely. But I am a little concerned that they have a problem guarding in the post.
Well, they lost to 2 really good teams. I mean, it's no shame in losing in Kansas. It's always tough to win up there. And they lost in overtime to Texas Tech. It's not like they lost to Colgate. No disrespect to Colgate. I don't even know where that school is located. I think it's in California. I think it's California. But no disrespect to Colgate or AIM or whatever they call their school. But there's no disrespect to that. But I do think that these are 2 good losses if you want to look at it like that.
So are y'all saying it's time to play Bryce?
Yo, he leads the nation in high fives, man. Come on, man.
It's time for a bright side.
I think they went on their red shirt.
Yeah, I think so. Hey,
you can remove a red shirt anytime you want to. If they think
red shirt, blue shirt. If they want to win, he better always keep on his shooting shirt.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, hold on.
Okay, JV.
Hey, big shout out to my man Paul from the Extra Points. The young fellas is on point. He said, "Go get it, young man." That's our guys right there. Paul, man, my man, the mixologist, DJ7 in the man. Big shout out, man. A reason why I'm shouting him out so much, man, because he been sharing all our stuff, man, on Against the Grain Sports, man. Man, mad love for you, my boy, man. So we're going to continue supporting you as well, man. That's what we do, man. Everybody can be successful if you support the next person.
Yes,
everybody going to be successful. Big shout out to my man, the mixologist, DJ7, in the building out of New York City, I believe. New York City, man. So I love it. We nationwide, little young
the
Chris.
Big
man.
Apple.
We out here, man. But I'm a little concerned. Now, we can revisit this next week. But I'm concerned with and I'm a very big fan of Arizona. But hold on, y'all. The best team in the country is Michigan, though.
Michigan,
the best team in the country. They're the best team in the country.
Well, they're gonna find out next week.
They will. Later back senior. So right now, we got about 15 minutes. If I get y'all attention for 15 minutes, young Chris, stick around. NFL. We got the NFL draft coming up. You know, this is like my graceland to be able to talk about the draft and the combine. So we're gonna stay on the defensive side of the ball if we could, man. No, Paul, get your ass out of here. Talking about go blue. Get the hell out of here, man. Because he won't give Ohio State no credit. No, I'm just playing. But we're gonna start from the top. I'm gonna go up there with the Soul on Sports family, young Chris, and my man Jarrell Soul on Sports. Arvell Reese, the linebacker from Ohio State. Where do you think? Do you think he should where do you think he would fall, and what kind of career do you think he can possibly have in the next level?
I think he has the potential to be a great player. I'm gonna put a petition into the league that the Commanders get 5 top 10 picks in the draft this year. We need every Ohio State defender to come help our lonely defense. So yeah, I think he has the talent to be an elite player in this league. Yeah, I like his game.
Young Chris, what do you think about Arvell Reese, man? Ohio State guy, sideline to sideline guy. What do you think about him, young Chris?
That prototype that you said, sideline to sideline linebacker can stay in the league as long as he wants. As long as no injuries happen and he stays healthy, he can stay in the league as long as he wants. He's going to have a successful career. Anytime that you have a linebacker that's quick, that can guard, tight ends, running backs out the backfield, and that's very much a hybrid type of useful linebacker. Any team can use him in any type of defense, 3-4, 4-3. You want a lot of nickel, dime, any type of defense. You could use any type of linebacker like that. So any team that drafts him is going to be getting a stud, 100%.
No doubt, Michael, the people sent Arvell Reese. What do you think about Arvell Reese, man?
Well, it all depends upon how they're going to play him, the system that he goes to, because there's some notions that he's an edge rusher in the making. So maybe want to play him as a traditional linebacker. He gets every comparison to Michael Parsons. And so the question is, do you want to play him as an edge rusher or do you want to play him as a linebacker and kind of going from there? He has the physical tools. His film looks good. There's nothing, that's bad to say about the guy. About the only thing that I would say that I've heard in this is that you probably want to more focus on the Miami defenders because they're better than the Ohio State defenders that we saw this year.
We'll take them too.
Hey, I'll take them.
I just was making a jealousy. I just seen that.
A lot of jealousy
I'm like,
going on.
I know.
There's a lot of jealousy going on down in that left corner over here. Donald, what do you think about Arvell Reese, man, Ohio State linebacker?
I mean, I think, of course, he got superstar talent and ability. It's just, I think your career depends on the situation you go to. You go somewhere with a bad coordinator, a bad scheme, or you superstar talent, don't matter, because all these guys are, once you get to a certain level, I mean, of course, it's some one-of-ones, but for a lot of things, a lot of guys have the same amount of talent. But I think the right system, so whatever team you go to is probably going to be a top 10 pick. So he's going to go to a team playing a last place schedule. So maybe he'll get to show out against some of those last place teams and he can have a great career. But I think it really depends. Your situation really depends on everything. But I do believe the right system can turn anybody to a superstar.
Guys, you're going to be surprised. I'm going to say this about Ohio State player. But I'm a little concerned about Arvell Reese. This is my concern with Arvell Reese. First of all, we didn't even know who the fuck Arvell Reese was till this season. He been at Ohio State. He didn't even get the field. So you couldn't even beat out some of the linebackers that was on the team, which is not a bad thing because Ohio State is always loaded with talent. And he also, another concern is he tailed off he didn't perform well in the playoffs in the last 3 to 4 weeks of the season. I don't think he recorded a sack, guys. I think he was stuck at 6.5 sacks after like game 8 or 9 of the season. That concerns me because it was games against Indiana and against Miami. I didn't even know he was on the fucking field. And that's concerning to me. I want my players, if you're going to be a number 2 pick of the draft and you're going to be a transcending player, I need you to be able to perform at the highest levels. Listen, I'm being critical on him, and that's what I'm going to be on this draft process. So I'm not hating on Arvell Reese. I stated facts. Did I not state the fact? I mean,
yeah.
I stated the fact. He did not play. I think he got so much buzz at the early in the season when we was beating up on cupcakes, when we played against good offensive lines like Indiana and good offensive lines like Miami. I didn't know he was on the field, and that's concerning to me. We wasn't playing against Washington and fucking Wisconsin where he was dominating. So I want to see what he can do on a consistent basis because he's only got truly a small sample size of who Arvell Reese is. Because he didn't have any film from last year, he only got film from this year. Go ahead, Mike.
But maybe, we know he can play in a pro system because that's what he played in this year. And a lot of guys got to make that transition. He just played for a pro level defensive coordinator with pro level schemes, and that's what made the defense what it was. And then I think it's not him per se. It's just that if he's playing linebacker and he's dropping into coverage and has linebacker responsibilities, you can't get sacks like that. Now,
did he have interception? Did he have a fourth fumble? What was he doing?
Now, if you're a straight edge rusher, then you can impact the game consistently, or you should be able to impact the game more consistently from doing that one thing. But if you remember the whole question about Michael Parsons, like, okay, he got those sacks early, then they started moving him around and he was doing other shit, and everybody was complaining that he wasn't being as productive. But I'm like, they're asking him to do different stuff than what maybe his best skill set is.
Well, see, Mike, I don't agree with that because Michael Parsons has the most sacks of anybody in the first 5 years of a career. He had double-digit sacks, so I think his productivity has always been there. What I'm saying is, if Michael Parsons had a body of work, do y'all remember what Arvell Reese did last year? Did anybody remember? Why? Because he didn't touch the fucking field. Like, you know what I'm saying? He didn't touch the field. Donald, do you remember anything he did against Indiana? Do you remember anything he did against Miami? I'm just throwing it out there.
Nah, but in football, I know you can scheme. If you know somebody is that dangerous and that good, a lot of times some people scheme to run all the way away from you. So sometimes not recording certain sacks, if y'all shutting something down on the other side, that might not be an actual bad thing. I think you got to actually, in football, I really believe, besides the numbers, you got to actually look at what's going on the field, because you'll look at some players like, well, he didn't get a sack. You can make sure somebody don't get a sack. Acts like Joe Burrow and who was it? Who was making sure Myles Garrett didn't get a sack?
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. You can make sure somebody don't get a sack, but if you see the Ohio State defense play a lot of time lights out, maybe because it's certain attention and they're going away from it and making sure of that. But I would have to look.
We're talking a lot about sacks on this show today. A lot of sack talk.
It's not to the face though. It's not to the face. But no, but that's my. I mean, I think he's still a phenomenal athlete. Don't get me wrong. I'm just being that antagonistic person because you know how much I really dive into the NFL draft process, and I just want to make sure that we're not just riding his nuts. Like, because the Ohio State, he's great. And I think he could be great. I'm not saying he got his upside. Y'all keep saying Michael Parsons. I think of Derek Brooks. I think his upside could be Derek Brooks because I think he's a guy that can really he tackles well in space. He's a 6'4", 235-pound linebacker. That's more Derek Brooks than Michael Parsons, in my opinion. But let's go to the next one. I'm going to start up there with the Solo Sports family again. David Bailey, the edge rusher from Texas Tech. I know you ain't got nothing bad to say about a Texas Tech player.
Who, me?
Yeah, you. Talk to me about, because Bailey played very well in the bowl game, even though they got their ass beat by Oregon, but he was a shining light. And that's what I'm saying about Arvell Reese, Donald, is like, I just didn't see him. You don't just got to get sacks to impact the game. He was batting down balls, everything.
Man, the balls, sacks, tight ends. Man.
Sorry about that, guy. So what do you think about David Bailey, man?
Well, like Joel, we already talked about so many times, man, that defensive end can do their thing, but if you got no quarterback on the other side, it don't really matter. And that's what he dealt with in the playoff game he had. He had a great playoff game against Oregon. He played great against Oregon, but the offense didn't help him out also. But he's definitely an impact player on the next level. Rushing the quarterback is what it seems like what he's great at, and I think he'll easily be a top 10 pick in this draft.
Okay, young Chris, I know you watch a lot of film on David, but I know you're a statistician like myself. Talk to me about David Bailey.
I do think with David Bailey, a lot of teams are always in desperate need when it comes to pass rushing. I think that's very much one of the things you need on defense, because if you give an NFL quarterback a lot of time back there in the pocket, they can do whatever they want. So they're always searching for guys like Bailey and Bain out of Miami. But I do give Bailey the little bit more of a edge over Bane for Miami because the amount of stuff that he does outside against sack, like you said, batting balls down, pressure on the quarterback, and there's a lot of other stuff. And he's actually a really good one stopper too, coming from the edge. So that's also a very good thing he has to his game. So I do think Bailey will be a a top 6 to 8 pick between that frame. But I do think he will be very good in this league today.
Okay. Mike, what do you think about David Bailey? I know you was talking about him when he played against Oregon, even though he tried to single-handedly keep Oregon in the game. Keep Texas Tech in the game against Oregon. Like I said, offense, like Sol said, offense just couldn't generate anything. Talk to me about what he can do. Can he do this same thing at the next level?
I don't see any reason why he can't. Everything about him looks translatable to the NFL. He's one of those guys that's not going to have to worry about anything else, no other assignment. It's going to be one of two things: either set the fucking edge or get to the quarterback. That's all he's going to be asked to do. And I think he's capable of doing both. I think, I think the run game will be more difficult for him in the NFL than pass rushing. Because if you're going to be an every down guy, you got to set the edge. And I'm not sure of his physical dimensions, but to me, he looks a little light for the NFL. He'll have to add some weight, but everybody's got to do something to succeed in the NFL. So I'm not worried about that at all.
But what about him not having anything on his sleeves and not looking sexy? He looked like Trey Hendrickson. What do you think about that, Mike?
but he that goes back. He's dark skinned black, right? So I can't tell if he's got some on his arms or not.
You can't tell you got no tattoos?
Yo, that's crazy.
I can't discern what's going on there, and it don't look as bad as my guy Trey.
So hold on. So young Chris, you saying if he got tattooed, we got to read it like Braille?
Yes. Hey, I know some dark skinned dudes. I can't even tell they got tattoos half the time.
Wasting their money. What I see with David Bailey, I'm going to talk about his upside. His upside, man, this guy can really rush the passer. And I think at the next level, you help out the secondary, of course, if you can rush the passer. And I think that's what he can do. But in the NFL, the only thing is sometimes they don't want you just rushing the passer. Sometimes you got to drop back into coverage. And I think that he's pretty good in coverage as well. Mike made a good point. Is he a little light? But I see him picking up about 10, 15 pounds. But with gaining 10 to 15 pounds, does that make him slower? You know what I'm saying? Does that slow down his speed? He was a transfer in, so it wasn't a guy that was always with Texas Tech. He was a transfer player. But this guy has really increased his productivity every year. I think at the NFL level, he should be a top 10 pick. I think this is going to be a dominant defensive draft. We haven't had one of those in quite some time because everybody was focused on the quarterbacks and the wide receivers and the offensive player. I think this year, finally, defense is going to take and have the most picks in the first round. So what I will say is David Bailey, the top 10 pick. Like I said, my only concern with him is not having any sleeves and not look. I'm just playing. My only concern with him is will he be able to drop back in coverage on a consistent basis and help teams? Because if you go to a team like Pittsburgh that run a 3-4 scheme, which one of the last teams in the league that really runs a 3-4, can he play with his hand in the ground and can he set the edge? That's going to be, like Mike said, those are going to be two things that I'm concerned with. But like I'm critical on Arvell Reese, I'm going to be critical on David Bailey just because of who I am when it comes to the draft process. So let's go. I'm going to go with Mike for this one. I know Mike loves this. Junior. I love this kid's game. Talk to me about Ruben Bain Jr. at the next level, Mike.
I think that Caleb Downs is the safest home run pick, and we ain't got to him yet. But right after that, I like Ruben Bain because it's one of two things that a team can decide to do. Either you can make him an undersized edge rusher, kind of like Harrison that used to play for the Steelers a while ago.
James, yeah.
Technically a linebacker, but he was really a defensive end. Bain has the strength and power to set the edge. That's not going to be a problem with him. He has enough bend and get around and strength to get to the passer. Or you could go a little bit different direction and make him a inside player and put him over guards that now have to try on second and third and long. Now they've got a defensive end playing tackle like our guy Arnold. And I think you could see some of that out of Bain because I think it is really hard for a NFL guard to defend, to block a guy who's got pass rush ability of an outside pass rusher playing inside.
Okay. So, what do you think about Ruben Bain Jr.? What do you think about that kid?
When you turn the tape on, like Mike said, you see it. But sometimes this is the only thing I don't like about this draft process. Sometimes we overanalyze these players, and people are saying he got T-Rex arms, but the kid gets to the quarterback. When I see him, he looks undersized. He kind of reminds me of Elvis Dumerville. Remember he from the Broncos? His game kind of reminds me of him, but I think he's going to be great at the next level. I got this feeling he's going to drop out of the top 10, though, Jordan. I got this feeling they're going to use that short arm thing against him. They're going to overanalyze and forget about the film, and later on, 2 years from now, we're going to say, man, how the fuck we let him drop out of the top 15? I can definitely see that happen to this guy.
I like that's good. That's good. So Elvis Dumerville, that's an excellent fucking comparison. Little Chris, young Chris, man, who you got? What do you like about Ruben Bain, man?
I'm with him when it comes to the overanalyzing the people overanalyzing stuff about these players because different position. But last year, Will Campbell, if I'm not mistaken, they got on him for having short arms, and that became the thing. He was still a top pick, but that became one of his cons to his draft for his whole draft process. And now Bain. But in my personal opinion, if you're a DN and you have a very good first step and you go to the right situation, you go to the right defensive coordinator that knows how to use you to your best abilities, because in football today, and like it's always been, if you go to the wrong situation, it might not work out for you. But you go to just the right one, it might end up good for you. So if Bain goes to a team like, I don't know, the Titans, or he goes to a team that has a good DC, it's going to be completely different because he might be a bust with this team, but the other team, he might be on the all-rookie team. So it's all about situation, but I do think the raw talent is 100% there with him, 100%.
I don't really care about arms, but Will Campbell, short arms, gave up a lot of fucking sacks this year. So maybe they were a little bit right because they're already flirting around with moving him to the right side and potentially bringing another left tackle in. And that's your fourth pick of the draft. So you don't want to miss on the fourth, even though you can't say you missed because you went to the Super Bowl. I mean, you can't say you really missed. But he was giving up a whole bunch of sacks to the face.
A whole bunch of them.
He's the one that gave up 5 sacks to Myles Garrett. So, but that's Myles Garrett. But anyway, I see what you're saying.
I just want to comment on this real quick. Maybe it was the wrong assessment from the first place that he's a right tackle, not a left tackle.
Right.
And it's probably not his arms. It's probably his feet. Because you just said, the best pass rushers in the NFL line up on that side. Mm-hmm. And if your feet ain't right, you can have 10. Your arms can be 6 foot long, and it ain't gonna matter. It's not going to matter. You got to have your feet and that kick step and all of that stuff. And have enough ability to play the counter move because every great pass rusher, so you kick out and you trying to ride them up, and then they spin around and come underneath. So and he was a rookie. So it may be way early to push the panic button all the way around.
But I'm just saying, New England said they're going to stick with him, but they were flirting and put him on the right side. But the bad thing, too, with Will Campbell, before I get my take, is they had another rookie right next to him. And that you should have put a veteran there where they could have double teamed. They didn't run a lot of tight ends, chipping. That's it worked for them. They got to the bowl. So who am I to say something about their fucking team when you went to the bowl and just lost to a better team? But anyway, Ruben Bain, man, I think Ruben Bain is going to be a stud in this league. I was questioning his motor mid-season because it was I like guys that can impact the game. You don't have to get a sack. You don't have to get a tackle for loss, but you got to get your name called for something and not for a false start or offsides. So I didn't see a lot of games when Miami got mid-season. I was like, damn, I watched the game, and I didn't hear his name called one time. But then when he got to the playoffs, all of a sudden he turned that switch on, and you hear every other play, Ruben Bain. He's setting the edge. He's getting to the pad. He getting sacks. He's getting pressures. So I think this guy at the next level, he can continue to have consistency with his motor. I don't see him having any problem with I don't care how bad a defensive team is. It's easier to be good on defense with a bad coordinator than it is to be a quarterback or any other thing with a bad coordinator. I know y'all say it's situations, but defense, you can make your own because you can make a play defensively. You don't need the ball or plays called for you to make a play on the defense side of the ball. So I think it's easier to make an impact, and I think Ruben Bain will do so.
Hey, Jody, one
I
more
think-
thing about Will Campbell. Moving forward, I hope these young guys are paying attention. Let your game do the talk. Will Campbell, since he had that bad Super Bowl, they're showing all these old clips from him saying, "Hey, in our locker room, if you give up more than one sack, you go to work at Costco." Yeah, you just stop talking. Now you're a meme. Everyone say you can't play there because you had a one bad game. Just let that go.
Hey, so he not even working at Costco. That nigga at Kroger's now.
I will say this too. I think Bain and Mesidor were victims of their early success and a schematic change that happened after the SMU game. The first 4 games of the season, they get into the passer, they cause a havoc. The next 2 games, 2 out of those 3 games, the ball is leaving out of the hands of the quarterbacks like this because, and you've heard me say this, you can't have great edge rushers and then have your corners off 6, 8, 10 yards because in today's football, if they're that far off, as soon as they get the ball, they're just going to throw it. There are no edge rushers that can do anything about that. After those couple games, those corners came up and they got more physical at the line, and then those guys were able to get back to doing what they were doing. Because if you look at the film, you're going to see the same thing out of Mesidor at that couple game. I know exactly what you're talking about in the middle of their season.
Yeah, but it dropped. And this is our last one that we're going to do for today. We'll continue tomorrow, give y'all a couple edge rushers or defensive players that could potentially go in the first round. This is another guy a lot of people don't really talk about. We talk about Cassius Howe, the All-American out of Texas A&M, had a phenomenal season. Mike, what do you think about this kid, man? He really set the tone with that Texas A&M defense, and now can he continue doing this? He had double-digit sacks his senior year or his last year with Texas A&M. Can he continue this at the next level?
I think he can continue it at the next level. In their last playoff game, I had obviously did a lot of looking at their film, and I see them be pretty dominant previous to that. But then in that game, I didn't get that from him particularly, right? And you got one tackle with 6'7", some odd crazy, and then the other one's going to be probably the number 1 or 2 tackle taken. So you're playing against NFL caliber, and I didn't see anything NFL caliber like dominant in that. But I'm not saying that this guy ain't going to be good. I saw the other film, and he looked great.
Okay. So, what do you think about this kid, man? I know you're not gonna say nothing bad about Texas A&M guy. Why would you do that? No, but what do you think about Cassius Howe?
I'm about to piss Mike off. Jolie, you love the draft and the combine. I'm gonna talk about the man's measurables. So when they start measuring these men, and they're gonna measure Howe versus Bain, they're gonna say Howe measures up more to the NFL defensive ends than Bain does. Now I got a feeling that Howe might get drafted higher than Bain. Now, I'm saying he's gonna be a better player, but I got a feeling that Howard might get drafted higher because of his measurables.
Okay. Young Chris, what do you think about? I know you down there right there in the heart of Texas, so I know y'all hear about this guy probably more than I do. Talk to me about Cassius Howe.
This is probably the most I've ever agreed with him within like a 10-minute span. But he spent
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Because it's crazy. We don't like this on the show. Off the show, we always go at it. But he's right though 100%. Teams always try to draft off potential, even if it's physical or mental, but they always try to draft off potential. How his film might not be as good as Bain, but because he's 2 or 3 more inches taller. 2 or 3 inches taller.
More inches.
Or has a longer wingspan, they might draft him off that alone. But again, I'll keep preaching this. It's all about location. The NFL is what it's all about. But he does have the potential and the skill set to succeed in the league. But let's see because obviously the NFL speed is completely different from college. So that's always a tough change to go through as a college player. Going from that to NFL is completely different with veterans and 35-year-olds. So it's crazy for sure.
And see, what I see out of Cassius Howe is he has a motor that don't stop. When we looking at edge rushers offensive lineman, defensive lineman, I always look at what they motor. I check the temperature on their motor. Do you quit on plays? Have you watched where the run is on the opposite side and you loafing? Remember they used to call loaf when you are you loafing? Are you impacting because the play wasn't ran to your side? Are you ready just in case it's a reverse? Are you making sense of what your assignment is on that other side of the field? And what I see now to Cassius Howell, that he consistently had a motor. He may not, to me, physically, he may not be the guy that is going to be as physically gifted as some of these other guys, like Massador, guys like Arvell Reese. He might not be that physically imposing, but his motor is what's going to make him a first-round pick, and he's going to make him a 10 to 12-year veteran because he has a motor that won't quit. And sometimes motor goes along with your heart. And what I like about players, it ain't about skill, it's about your will. A lot of times, man, you can in football, basketball, you need more skill. You can't get out there and just because you're tall, that can't be it. You can hustle your ass off. You still can be trash in basketball. In football, you can be a little not that great, but if your motor and your will and you do exactly what the coach is telling you to do, you can still be a solid player. And that's what Cassius Howell is going to be able to be for whatever organization he goes to. His will is going to always be there. His skill is going to I think his will is better than his skill, but I think it will equal up once he gets and learns the NFL after year two or year three. But this guy is going to be somebody that you got to take accountability for.
So are you telling the people that you're relying on the eye test more than your digitally impacted, perfected numbers, Jody?
Actually, no, because I said that he doesn't. Mike, you wasn't listening because I said he's not physically imposing. Ain't numbers your measurements?
Well, Chris said that his measurements, and Saul was saying that his measurements are better than Baines, and that might be true because I don't know it. I don't know his exact height and weight.
That's Baines.
Baines got short arms and deep pockets.
Yeah, that's crazy work. He need a whole bunch of hoodies.
But yeah, one thing we can all agree on.
It wasn't the shirt right here.
But
one thing we all can agree on.
I was saying Cassius. I said his measurables. And my thing is his productivity is there. Don't get me wrong. He had double-digit sacks, so he had more sacks than Bain too. So,
but yeah. You talked about, but your deciding factor was his will. And you kept saying his will. Because I'm an eye test guy. I can tell you right now, if I was in the draft, the last thing you could do, my last thing would be if I got two guys, then I want to know the measurables. What I want to do is look at their film and see how well they play. Now, this comes from the Jimmy Johnson School of Drafting, who I think is one of the greatest drafters of all time. He couldn't stand that looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane. This is why he found the Leon Letts and the Eric Williams and the guys that made that Dallas roster at one point in time. They had more depth and talent than just about anybody, and it was from a bunch of guys. He saw Darren Woodson was a linebacker in college. He moved him to safety. Like, he had an eye for talent, and I'd rather have an eye for talent than numbers.
Hey, Mike, I just talked to Jerry Jones. He said he drafted those players. It wasn't Jimmy Johnson.
But the crazy thing
Jerry
is,
Jones is delusional.
But Mike, you said I don't look at the. He still has more sacks than a lot of guys. Only person he don't have more sacks than is David Bailey. So
I'm in support of him. All I'm saying is
I'm still going numerics. I always do my numerics. I just put, like I said, I put everything in the pot like gumbo. It's not just okay. He's just good on paper. I look at the paper. I look at the eye test. I look at impact. I'm a very, very thorough person when it comes to evaluating talent. So, hey, great show. We'll be back tomorrow, guys. But before we get out of here, we got young Chris here. So guess what, Chris, man? You get your final thought. You get to do it first.
My final thought is, man, the World Baseball Classic is around the corner. Last time we had this, it was Japan and USA in the final. And the final out was actually Ohtani pitching to Mike Trout. Ohtani did end up striking him out, and Japan did end up winning the World Baseball Classic. But this year, USA is loaded, man. Tariq Skubal Judge is finally on this team. Trout didn't make this team. Corbin Carroll is going to be out for injury, so they'll see who they're going to replace with James Wood or Wyatt Langford. But I'm waiting very, very patiently for this World Baseball Classic because I'm waiting for the U.S. I think we have it once in 2017 for us to get back on Japan because Japan is always getting new talent all the time. So if we're able, plant our flag and win this year, that'd be very impressive for us, and I can't wait for it.
You know what's crazy, young Chris? I always say about Mike Trout. Can y'all please free Mike Trout from the Anaheim or LA Angels, whatever?
He's never gonna leave.
Trade him. Shit. I'm tired of not being able to see a talented player as such as him. One of my favorite players of all time, Mike Trout, stuck in the Angels uniform. What do you got? One playoff series he ever played?
One. He might because for years he was good, but like MLB Network always puts out the top 100 players, and for like a 7-year stretch, he was the best player in baseball. But again, that proves that one player can't change everything. Obviously, you got to have a good pitching rotation. You got to have coaches that know when to pull out pitchers, and you also got to have some batter behind you. Because if you got the best defense, the Rangers won the Gold Glove for the best defensive team in the whole entire league and did not make the playoffs because our hitting was that bad. We had Jacob deGrom, Jack Leiter, Barker, and Nate Eovaldi. We had an under 3 ERA, if I'm not mistaken, as a team. But our hitting was so bad, and Seager and Garcia just disappeared. So that led to. But basically, I'm trying to say, baseball is the ultimate team sport. 100%.
You know what's crazy too? Mike Trout and Ohtani was on the same team for about 3 or 4 years. So, I don't know, man. It's crazy work. Hey, Eagles Philly said good show today. He said, keep doing your thing, stay safe and stay blessed as you as well. I know the snow is melting there because it's melting here in Ohio. So I'm hoping the snow is melting in Philly. So keep doing your thing. Hey, I'm gonna come back to you. So I'm gonna go with Mike to give his final thought. Mike, talk to me and give me your final thought.
Well, now that football season is officially over and we have no more football for a few weeks until the UFL or whatever the other league starts. It's a great time to look at other sports. And so yesterday we had a classic in college basketball, but it was the women's game where the classic was at. And that was LSU and South Carolina, a game that was separated by 7 points, two teams that kind of are in the mix every year. Kim Mulkey versus Don Staley. You couldn't ask for a better coaching matchup. Game was pretty good. Looking forward to seeing how these teams compete against UConn. It looks like Gino has got UConn back up and running like a machine over there. And so I enjoyed the seeing women's college basketball kind of now getting some attention as we move toward March.
No doubt. Hey, Eagles Philly, yeah, it would be nice for Mike. I would even like Mike Trout to come back to Philly. I just don't want him in the fucking Anaheim LA Angels, I just don't except don't go to the White Sox. Don't nobody need to go to the
ain't gonna do that.
If you go retire, if you got to go to the White Sox, just fucking retire. That's the worst franchise in baseball right now. But yeah, nevertheless, man, get him out of there, man. Good stuff, Mike. Though, real quick, Mike, did they shake hands? Staley and did they shake hands at the end of the game? 'Cause I'm pretty sure they shake hands.
I didn't see the end of the game, so I'm not sure.
Oh, because they don't really like each other particularly well.
They play 1-on-1, maybe.
She don't want nothing with Don State. Even though she can hoop too, but she don't want nothing with Don State. So, give me your final thoughts. We got here.
Final thought is, man, Kevin Durant, who's always speaks his mind, rather his on his account or his burner account. They asked him about people loafing in the All-Star games, and he said, anybody ask the international players, you criticize those guys. Same thing we've been talking about on this show. You talk to Luka, you talk to the Joker about how they play in All-Star games because they don't give 100% effort. This is hopefully fuel and fire for this game tonight. Hopefully we can get some USA pride, and hopefully they show up and get the world team and they play with some heart today. I'm looking forward to see what they do with this new platform they're trying this year.
Hold on. So did they give you any credit? Have you?
No, they didn't. They didn't, bro. They never do.
Royalty checks yet?
No, they don't. Once they do, we're gonna split it.
No, that's yours. That's how I met you. I met you, I believe now 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And that was one of the first things that I seen that you said. You had a notebook. I don't know where your notebook at. You pulled your notebook. It's right there. You said the World All-Star Game should be the world. And I remember, I put on my mama. I remember you saying that. And I have never heard anybody say no shit like that. And I'm not trying to just like toot your own. I'm being very honest because I like to give credit when people do some shit like this. And you were the first and only person I ever heard suggest the world should play the Americans. And now it's happening, and you ain't got no royalty check. That's bullshit.
Nope. Still waiting. I want some court-size tickets or something we can all hang out. Something.
Yeah. Something.
Where's my
at least say that where you got it from. Like, come on, man. Like on some real shit. Say that everybody's on TikTok. They got their interns going over the net trying to find new ideas to bring back to networks that got over 8 million or billion people, and you take from little guys.
Yep.
Pause. I ain't calling you a little guy. I don't know.
Hey, I measure up, brother.
That's crazy work. You're at the combine. King Meeks said, great show, my brother. I wish all the blessing. You too, man. King Meeks is going to be a guest on the show very, very soon whenever his schedule opens up.
When do I get my flowers and royalties for my Sam Darnold takes?
You can't get no royalties.
I just
if you now listen, you get it because you jumped on the bandwagon after he went to Minnesota. If you would have been talking about Sam Darnold, like if he get a chance to be the starting quarterback, but when he was in San Francisco, bro, I would be up in this motherfucker like Mike. What I will give you is that you stuck with him the whole way through. I will give you that. I'll always say that. I just wish you would have said it when he was in the San Francisco 49er uniform rather than the Minnesota uniform.
I had him getting benched this year. I didn't think he was gonna make it through the season.
Yeah.
I know.
And some bitch won the Super Bowl.
But the crazy thing is, I actually put a post in the group June the 25th of last year saying that Seattle has a chance to win the Super Bowl with the addition of Sam Darnold, Cooper Kupp, and as well. And the whole post was based around Chavanaugh, the running back.
Yeah,
you can go look it up. I got actual receipts that what I said. So anyway, my final thought, guys. Baseball is right around the corner. I love what Chris was talking about. I love that. That made my heart smile right there. But do y'all know? I understand, guys. Y'all don't want Barry Bonds in the Hall of Fame because whatever he did or didn't do. But it's crazy work you don't put Barry Bonds in the Hall of Fame when you have no documentation of him doing any. He never popped on a drug test. He never had a cork bat. You never call him red-handed, but y'all still won't let him in the Hall of Fame. Hey, check these numbers out, Mike. You will probably enjoy this. Actually, you won't. The best pitchers of the era. Listen to this. Against Greg Maddux, probably the best pitcher that Randy Johnson, probably the best two pitchers I ever seen personally. He had a 333 batting average against Greg Maddux, guys. He goes, okay, well, you like left-handers because he left-handed. Normally, you hit better against right. Well, Tom Glavine, he got a 429 batting average against Tom Glavine. We talking about one of the best pitchers we ever seen. Against his other counterpart is the best, fair to best with John Smoltz. He only had a 273 batting average. Against Roger Clemens, he had a 302 batting average against Roger Clemens. Against Kurt Schillings, he has a 333 batting average against Kurt Schillings. And check this out. And everybody loved Pedro Martinez. He has a 444 batting average against Pedro Martinez. These are the best pitchers of our era. Now, I don't know what the stats is on Randy Johnson. Let that man in the goddamn Hall of Fame. Because even with him not being, if he would have retired before he went to San Francisco, he was still a fucking 3-time MVP.
Yeah.
Come on,
Joe, even if he would, even let's say he did take steroids, that's not going to help your hand-eye coordination. I mean, that's not going to make you hit the ball. Maybe hit you hit further, but you still got to hit the damn ball. I don't give a damn how many steroids you was on.
And with all those numbers, I think what was more impressive was watching it and being that I'm a baseball guy. I would watch Barry Bonds, whether it was with the Pirates or whether he was with San Francisco. I'd watch just to see what was going on. And did I see transformation in Barry Bonds' body and the size of his cranium? Yes. His hat size did increase during the time but people like he went from being a 20-some-year-old guy when we first saw him to being in his late 30s, right? So everybody, and especially baseball, because at that time, baseball conditioning was a little bit different. So a little bit of age, a little bit of PED, but it's the difference between, it's not a difference major hitting a 375 foot home run versus a 385-foot home run. It's just not that. It's still a home run, people. It was going to clear the fence. The fence is usually about 310. Maybe the deepest part may be 356 if she's really that way. And then you know.
Did he say
Mike, can you reach the deepest part of the field? Can you reach the deepest part of the ocean?
Sometimes you gotta do the long ball.
Hey, listen. It's the day after Valentine's Day. Everybody should have been at the bottom of the ocean.
Now, if she's got the green monster, I don't know.
The monster.
But let's not also forget about A-Rod either. A-Rod should also be in the Hall of Fame. Just under 700 home runs. He was a shortstop at the start of his career. Then whenever he went to the Yankees, they said this position is specifically set for Derek Jeter. Then he went to third base and proceeded to be, in my personal opinion, the best third baseman of all time. That's very much a conversation that could be had. Shortstop, in my personal opinion, the best shortstop of all time is Kyle Ripken over Derek Jeter. That's me though.
Not better than Derek Jeter. No,
we can talk about that. Jeter's overweight. Let's not get that.
What about Ozzie?
Jeter's overweighted too. I'll take A-Rod over Jeter anytime throughout the day.
Man,
what about
hell
Ozzie
not on this show, y'all. Ain't gonna talk about that.
Derek Jeter is the Derek Fisher of Major League Baseball.
I won't say that, but I'll say that A-Rod is all around better player than Jeter, especially on the defensive side. Jeter was not that good of a fielder. Was not that good. Not that
what
good.
What about Ozzie Smith though? Y'all just said like
Barry Larkin better than Ozzie Smith though.
Ozzie Smith's pretty good.
No, he was better than pretty good.
Barry Larkin better than a lot of people. Barry Larkin.
Ozzie Smith, the best defensive. I won't say he's the best because his bat didn't translate like
yeah.
You talking about playing the range and depth of playing shortstop? Give me Ozzie Smith.
So Ozzie Smith bat let him down, Mike. His bat let him down.
Yeah.
Yeah, his stick wasn't as productive.
We gonna definitely have this conversation because y'all not gonna shit on Derek Jeter and think y'all gonna get away with it.
Oh, Jody, I forgot he light skinned. I know you about them light skinned brothers.
Jody Ruckus.
I need to defend Cuz like that.
Jody Ruckus showed up. Y'all better leave Derek Jeter.
Hey, he's my MVP on the field and
off the field.
Look at his resume.
Yeah, he took care of business.
Not on the field. Go look at his resume off the field.
Yeah, he was lining them up. That's for sure.
Line them up and knocking them down.
Yes,
I'm your host, Jody Coleman of the Get the Grain Sports Podcast, Uncut, man. We got my man Michael, the People, St. Perry in the building. We got my man Jarrell, Solo Sports Glenn, all the way from San Antonio, Texas. Not to mention young Chris. Guy is great, man. This guy's a young up-and-coming star. Y'all better keep an eye on this young fella because if not, he's going to be a part of Against the Grain Sports family when we go to the top because he's going to be right there with us because you're amazing. I ain't even lie, man. I like that shit. You and my son need to link up or some shit because that's crazy work. Eagles Philly said LeBron James got a press conference at 2:30. And then King Ming said LeBron ain't playing in an All-Star game. It's crazy. It ain't that crazy. I mean, shit, he need to sit his ass down.
He ain't played last year either.
No, he did play last year.
He played last year. But
he played last year.
And then he said Derek Jeter was the man in the streets. Absolutely. He was my idol. So King Ming, he was my idol. I'll just put it like that. But yeah, we got Ray more than just a Barbara Lindsay. He's taking care of some business. Talk to him this week, so he's good to go, fellas. He's just taking care of a few things. We got Jason, the Hefty Lefty. The basketball season is coming to adjourn, so my nephew is getting a little more looks, and the playoffs is right around the corner. Once that's over, you'll see more of the Hefty Lefty on the show. AAU is about to start too. But then you got Andrew mic'd up doing daddy duty. You already know you got Donald, the voice of the youth. I think his phone died again. And then we can't do none of this stuff, y'all. None of this without Jay Kane and Chef cooking it up in the kitchen. Hey, so take us out of here, man. What we doing till tomorrow, man?
We're working, baby.
See y'all tomorrow. Peace.